where I wanted the hot water heater. Oh, my God, I said hot water heater. The place where I wanted the hot water heater couldn't be located there because the wall surrounding the water heater would be 2 centimeters too close to the Great White Buddha. Now, it's crap like that.
Yeah.
That causes home prices to be so high. In Collier County, it takes a decade to get a permit to renovate a bathroom anyway. My God, they'll kill you on permits.
I'll tell you, Neil, and I still reference this from Hurricane Michael in 2018 and then the rebuild into 2019. Our place was in Gulf County, Florida, right on the line before Mexico Beach. But if you went 3 miles down the road, you got to Bay County, Florida. And the regulations in Bay County versus Gulf County caused that area to take an extra at least 18 months to 2 years to rebuild because of all the little things that you're bringing up in terms of like water heaters, or could you have a camper as a temporary house on your property? One thing after another. Regulations slow everything down and make everything more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. And why can't we address that? By the way, what county in Florida was that?
That was Bay County, which is right where the start of Mexico Beach, Florida, and then Gulf County is the other
Port
side.
St. Joe in Bay County?
That is in Gulf County. It's the last place in Gulf County right before it gets to Mexico Beach, Bay County.
A dear friend of mine just bought a house, a beach house in Port St. Joe.
Love that area. It's like Mayberry by the sea. It's one. In fact, my daughter with her volleyball team, that's where they're doing their vacation camp there. So she's down in Port St. Joe, Florida, as we speak.
You been to Panama City Beach lately?
Not lately.
I went about 2 years ago was the last time I went.
Yeah, you want to go back?
I mean, it was fine. Yeah.
I mean,
It was fine. It's redneck Riviera,
I mean, that used to be a playground for me when I was in high school.
Yep,
and Don and I drove through there about, maybe a couple of years ago and said, okay, hey, that was interesting, and we won't be coming back here again.
There you go. Yeah, no, I get it.
But I think that's also, too, why when you start talking about 30A in that portion of the coast, if you are on that portion of the coast, the smaller communities are getting more and more popular because they're quiet.
Yeah.
Well, in a sense, that's the way it is with Naples. Everybody's talking Fort Myers, Cape Coral, blah, blah, blah. And, 20 miles down the beach, here's this little Naples, who is not so little anymore, but it's quiet. And the crime rate is almost nil. Unfortunately, Norwegians have found great access to Naples coming across Alligator Alley. They can come across, do their thing, see how many cars they can break into, then right back to Miami and Fort Lauderdale on Alligator Alley. So I think the toll needs to be raised there to about $20 to get across that road.
Well, I wanted to ask you quickly, Neil, about see if you recognize James Fergie Cox Chambers Jr. Do you recognize that name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What is he doing now?
He's just been extradited by the United States out of Spain. He says that he wants to use, he's a pro-Palestinian activist, said he wants to use his wealth, his inheritance. I think
billions. Billions.
Yeah, to undermine and overthrow the United States.
What do you mean extradited?
Well, I guess he was over in Spain, had moved over to Spain, and
that indicates that he's committed some sort of a crime, that the DOJ wants him back over here.
That's right. Yeah. So he's calling the extradition politically motivated, but I think it's something to do with pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, that sort of thing, and then crimes against the United States. So we'll have to see how it was. But I figured you would that name would ring a bell to you, having
Fergie.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Having worked for the company that you did for so many years.
Well, I mean, it's a great company too.
No, yeah, right. But some of the family members have clearly gone around. One of them have gone off the rails.
There might have been a little slight Democrat leanings. On the part of some of the people in that company.
Yeah.
But my life changed when I left the ex-wife and went to work for Cox. It really did.
In a positive way.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Then I
he was going to
started.
tell you different? No, it was all downhill
Then
from there.
I started referring to GST as the ex-wife, and Donna would
Oh,
get
see, I didn't follow the joke. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Donna would get these phone calls. Oh, Donna, we're so sorry. What happened?
Yeah. So I just pulled it. U.S. extradition request for money laundering and other offenses. He
I'm
was
gonna have
arrested
to-
in Ibiza.
Okay. I'm going to have to read that story.
Yeah. I figured that would maybe send up your antenna, send up your radar a little bit.
Okay, now both of you have seen Poop Cruise, haven't you?
Yes, I have on net. I've enjoyed most of those between that and then Firefest and all the other disaster ones. I
Oh,
did.
yeah, Firefest. How about the new one that's just come out about Burning Man?
Oh, I haven't seen
I've
that
not
one yet.
seen that one.
There's only one episode so far.
Okay.
That's another place I never want to go.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in going out there. But just debauchery.
I used to be interested in that sort of stuff. Now it just seems very
Oh.
tiring.
Yeah.
You know, I'm interested in it, but I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, they.
I want a concert that I can walk into and then leave, and that's it.
Yeah. I don't need any extra activities.
So, okay, guys, I haven't been all that interesting today.
I
No.
disagree.
We've had a great time.
I
In fact,
disagree.
during the course of this conversation, I sent a video to your email, so you'll have to take a look at you
I'll
and
have to look at it.
you and Marco Rubio. This is what I use AI for. It's a total waste of time.
I want to use it to sing "I'm Gonna Love You Forever" in a good voice and send it to my wife.
Well, we could probably arrange
yeah.
that. Let's see what we can work
I
on for you.
recorded that once in one of these little, and then she kept playing it for people, and I finally took that tape and threw it away.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, that's for you.
Well,
Queen,
maybe.
come on.
Yes, that's right. You don't share that. That was my heart.
I cannot sing.
Well, that makes the two of us. Yeah.
Okay, bomb, 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 Iran.
Bum 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 around.
What a great song takeoff that was.
Dude, I love it. I love it. And we will continue. So, Neil, we appreciate you, man. God bless you. Have a good day.
I'll be more interesting the next
No,
time.
come on
I had a
now. I
great
think you
time.
hit it out of the park today.
Okay, guys.
Have a great day.
There he goes.
Big
Talk Master, Neil Bortz. The one, the only place you get him here is on Extra 106.3, and it's always fun to hang out with him. Dude, that's my favorite, to be honest, when Neil is kind of like a pinball machine, just bouncing all around and talking about all kinds of things.
He thinks it's strange or we don't like it. That is my favorite.
It's
Neil
my
Bortz.
favorite too, man. Because he'll tell you, he's like, I loosely keep up with what's going on in the news. Y'all usually tell me more than I knew when, because he usually listens for the first half hour before he comes on or whatever it is. And he'll be like, I learned more from y'all than I would have known otherwise. So I don't keep up like I did. That's why I like to just talk about the things that make Neil tick.
Quite honestly, we could either talk about Lenox Square Mall being dangerous or Neil seeing naked people back in the 70s here in Atlanta. I'm like, tell me about that.
Tell me about them naked people. What were they up to? And did you join in?
What apartments were you living at and what kind of craziness was going on?
That's exactly right. Morning Extra, Extra 106.3. There has been a noticeable change at the Supreme Court. Talk about that next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, July 15th. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game from Philadelphia ended with the American League beating the National League 4-0 last night as the American League pitching struck out 15 in the game. The league is now off until Thursday. As for the Braves, they will resume second half action on Friday. From the World Cup, a massive matchup right here in Atlanta today as England and Argentina will battle for the right to play in Sunday's final. Spain is already there and awaiting Sunday's matchup. The game in Atlanta kicks off today at 3 o'clock. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Purple Wave Auction Box.
Hey there, folks. If you're buying or selling equipment, ride the wave.
Ride the wave. Purple Wave Auction makes it easy to sell.
Easy to buy. Construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve. All online.
All online.
Cruise on over to purplewave.com and get in the groove today.
Purplewave.com.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
This is Tom, the honest car guy, and we got a surprise call in from a customer of ours, Travis, out in Jefferson, Georgia. Travis, good to hear from you, buddy. You want to tell a little bit about the experience you had with me at the honest car guy?
The whole experience, honestly, was one of the smoothest car experiences that we've ever gone through, meaning that there's no pressure. There's no runaround. It's just straight up honest service. The price that you guys present or find for you, that's what you are going to pay. And you just get a great deal. I've been educated to a newer process of the car dealership game. You guys have not come in and you're setting the benchmark for how car dealing and car buying and car selling really should be.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the honest car guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Join Daniel Madelon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. This week's guest is Joyette Holmes, chair of the Georgia State Board of Pardons and Paroles. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
So you got into an argument. Things got heated. Then a fight broke out, and it landed you in jail. Now what? You need A Second Chance Bail Bonds. They can get you or your loved one out of jail quickly, in most cases, in a few hours. So make the right call. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
All right, I'll say what you're thinking. Christmas in July? Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but neither does this. Because this isn't a clearance rack. It's our Solomon Brothers collection. Diamond essentials, tennis bracelets, earrings, everyday pieces done the right way. And for a limited time, all of it 31% off. So don't analyze it. Don't wait. Just come in. Solomon Brothers Christmas in July sale. 31% off everything.
Tomorrow at 9 p.m., hear President Donald Trump live from the White House as he addresses some of the biggest issues facing the nation today in a major primetime speech. Extra 106.3 is the only station in town airing President Trump's address live and in its entirety. Don't miss a single word. Tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
John Ossoff is part of that socialist movement. John Ossoff is part of that communist movement. If you want to see Georgia stay in a place of success like we have been as far as business and just good living standards, you better not invite a socialist.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
Hitting Iran a fifth straight day. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
U.S. Central Command just announced that another round of U.S. strikes are currently taking place against Iranian targets.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Washington.
These are the first daytime strikes that we've seen since the ceasefire went into effect, an indication that indeed these strikes are escalating. When I spoke with President Trump yesterday at the White House, he told Fox News that a variety of strikes would take place this week and escalate next week. He said he is reserving the energy targets for later in this campaign, trying to put new pressure on the Iranian regime.
We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges. unless they get to the table and negotiate.
This after the president reimposed a naval blockade around Iran's ports. Iran has also launched drone and missile attacks targeting Gulf countries with American military bases, Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait.
Iran says the resurgence in fighting has cost 30 lives there and wounded more than 260. The blockade is an attempt to weaken Iran economically, but President Trump has gone back on a threat to impose a 20% fee on all shipping in the Strait of Hormuz.
Fox's Jonathan Savage is being called a temporary pause. ICE agents will stop making most traffic stops after deadly shootings during immigration enforcement in Texas last week, then Maine on Monday. Border czar Tom Holman tells Fox those are being investigated.
Is there something that could have been done better? Is there any training that can be improved? Or it's simply ICE doing their job and bad things happen when people don't comply with law enforcement officers?
Meaning we don't need to spring forward and fall back anymore.
The House passing the Sunshine Protection Act, which is a bill that would make daylight saving time permanent. And now heads to the Senate. And if passed, Americans would no longer have a chance to change their clocks twice a year, but it would also allow states to opt out.
That's Fox's Carly Shimkus. America's listening to Fox News.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when pain is a part of everyday life. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation, which is one of the most common causes of ongoing aches and pains from aging, overexertion, or just daily living. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula, no prescription, no masking of symptoms, just real relief so you can keep moving forward. My pain almost stopped me. My hands were so bad I couldn't even button my own shirt. I couldn't paint. I couldn't write. And Tanya was the one who told me, I'm not listening to you whine anymore unless you try everything. Try Relief Factor. I did. It helped me get my life back. As America celebrates her 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. To commemorate, Relief Factor is offering a special patriotic price at $17.76, so you can pursue your happiness being pain-free. $17.76, 3-week quick starts ready for you right now. Relief Factor, because freedom just feels better without pain. Visit ReliefFactor.com. ReliefFactor.com. 800-4-RELIEF.
Search for the Extra 106.3 app wherever you download apps by searching XTRA 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Off to a funky start on the Morning Extra. Tug and Los until 10 here on Extra 106.3. So, front office Los, how are you this morning?
I'm outstanding, sir.
I love that. It's my favorite. How about you at 404-741-1230? At Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Love to check in with you. A midweek check-in, just making sure you're doing okay, too.
I've got so much on my mind, so much on the plate. We've had a pretty wild 48 hours, 24 hours in politics, and here's where it's not like I can, talk to this like with an 11-year-old or a 15-year-old at home.
That's right. Yeah.
And my wife, by the time we get to the end of the day, she's like,
just no politics.
Just tell me about daylight savings.
Yeah, that's right.
That's about it.
Yeah. I love the way they put it on the Fox update there. They're like, but Americans won't have the chance to change their clock back and forth. I was like, the chance? Do you mean won't have to do that anymore because it's dumb? Just make it. And it doesn't matter which way it goes to me. Like, I used to care. I don't. Just pick one and go with it.
Just a level of inconvenience that we were just so used to dealing with that we just were like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, now, for the most part, your phone just kind of does it for you. So it doesn't matter, I guess, as much as it used to. You don't have to actually have to make the adjustment on the clocks or anything.
I have 3 clocks in the house I have to adjust.
That microwave, stove.
And the one that hangs in the bathroom.
You have got it. Like just a clock on the wall.
It's a decorative clock.
Yeah, we have one in the kitchen. So we have 3 in the kitchen that we would have to fool with, or not have to fool with.
And wristwatches.
Yes, that's
right. But those don't count the same way.
Yeah.
I get around to it.
Yeah. Eventually, when you wear it, you're going to get to that point. Yeah, it's not as important. It's not as crazy as it used to be. It used to be quite annoying. But Eric is in Woodstock, and he is tired of the ridiculousness of daylight saving time. So, and I think that's...
Thank you, Eric.
If I'm not mistaken, that's where we're going to stay, is on daylight saving time. Am I not right about that, Eric?
Yeah, so we tried this in 1974. I'm sorry, that's the greatest year of our Lord, 1974. Obviously, that's the year I was born.
There you go.
But, so, history tells us that we tried this back then, and it failed miserably. They went to daylight savings time, and kids were getting hit in the streets by whether it was school buses or other cars or whatever. and it didn't work. And so they changed it, 8 or 9 months later, they changed it back. Do we learn nothing from history?
We don't typically.
We're tearing up.
Yeah, we don't know.
So, I mean, we've already done this. And here's the thing, too, is that the people that complain about the change twice a year, when we go back to daylight savings time permanently, the same people are going to complain because it's so dark in the morning.
Well, no, right now. So it's my understanding. Let me make sure we're arguing the same thing, because we're on daylight saving time now. I think we would just stay here instead of going back to standard time. Right? Is that not the way it's going to go?
Well, my point is that the people that are complaining now because we change the clock twice a year, when we go to whatever standard you want to go, whether it's standard or daylight savings time, when it changes, the same people are going to complain about the change because what they do? They just complain.
That's possible. David is right. People love to complain. It is their favorite thing in the world. I don't know why. I just think it's a human wiring, some sort of mechanism we got in there that we can't balance out. There's always complaining, Los.
Sometimes you just need something you want to be about.
Yeah, right.
You just want to complain about it.
Absolutely.
Because if you look back at that year of 1974, like you're initially told, there's going to be so much savings in fuel consumption, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then there was we are seeing increased traffic accidents, but those are reports. We don't really have any data on it.
Yeah.
And so they decided to scrap it. All I'm going to say is, if you are doing dumb things out there, it doesn't matter if you have daylight or not.
It doesn't matter. I agree with you. If you're dumb, it's just going to be painful. Life is going to be painful for you.
I tell my 15-year-old daughter on the road all the time, assume everyone around you is a moron. I was like, you will drive in a safer fashion that way with a lack of trust.
And you're not going to be wrong. Most of the people that are driving around you are morons.
And by the way, even if they're not a moron, the phone will make them a moron.
That's exactly
It'll
right,
make them do things as far as statistically, being essentially impaired.
Yep, that's exactly right. So we'll see. Who knows if? I mean,
pass the House relatively easily.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
But when has anything gotten through our Congress easily? I mean,
without some giant battle.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who argues against this.
And maybe that's what they're trying to do. See, we can do something. I mean, is it of any consequence? I guess it's kinda, but not really. You know what I mean? It's almost like a show more than anything else.
I mean, this is more detrimental. I know people can bring up public health. This is more detrimental to our industry than anything else. Because radio, when it comes to listening, is dictated by day and night pattern. And so we have a portion of the year where our signal strength is one, and it's great for us. And then we have a night pattern where our opening hours are not as great. And so daylight savings, as far as my career, has always been a factor. If it's not, I'm actually kind of interested in that.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, hopefully good will come of it. But David's not wrong. If somebody can complain, they will. All right, let's get to the first thing to know this morning on Extra.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Xtra, the Morning Xtra. Tug so bold, deep in the story, breaking news that's bold.
So this went down yesterday morning. Started like just after 10 o'clock, where we had Elena Kagan and Amy Coney Barrett that were testifying about the enhanced safety issues when it comes to the Supreme Court and the amount of funding that's now having to go into that, and sharing their experiences in a hearing as far as what it's going to cost and what their experiences have been. And what I think this really points to is how dangerous the left has truly become. Because we're not really worried about, has there been a recent story about a shooter showing up at, let's say, a baseball game looking for the Democrats to shoot them?
No.
But that happened.
But it did happen.
Did we have a recent story about a man traveling from California with basically a kit in order to take a Supreme Court justice hostage and eventually kill them?
No, I've not heard anything about that happening to any of the liberal justices.
But it happened to Brett Kavanaugh.
It did, yep.
Did we have any bomb threats against Elena Kagan where she had to enhance her security? Because they did happen to Amy Coney Barrett. They did happen to her family members. And so what we've now seen is that sort of threatening stance that even started at the top with Charles Schumer, with Chucky Schumer, who made it a point to sit on the steps and talk about, we're coming after you. And then to have the amount of people that were protesting in front of justices' homes because of the leaked Dobbs decision, we've now seen the effect of it. And you can find this from Lone Star Legend X, Roscoe Smith IV. He had a pretty good breakdown of a chart. Amy Coney Barrett was, in terms of voting on which side, as far as her opinion when it came to the court, before the Dobbs leak in June of 2022, 81% of the time she was siding with the more conservative justices. Since the Dobbs leak, and since this enhanced amount of threats and a risk to safety, her last number that she had for the period was 50-50.
So they've succeeded. That's what you're laying out. Is
the threats have won.
The threats have
scared her enough.
Absolutely right. And one of those, I remember.
And by the way, before the Dobbs leak, it was 81%. Right after the Dobbs leak, it was 59%, and now sits at 50-50.
Dude, and part of that started in March of last year when they had the bomb threat at her sister's house. If you remember, that was a huge deal, and I remember it well because it was in Charleston, and obviously Jacob was down there, my son was down there, and I've got some work function down there as well. And when that happened, that was when I felt like, with her specifically, when they went after her family, things changed, and now you're seeing it like data backing it all up.
But we now have seen this on the left. And the left can tell me all about, listen, we've done all these studies and it's equal on both sides. BS. And I'll tell you why. True. Because you, as far as the left, indulge in this. For instance, Tug and I, when it comes to the trans movement, what do we always say? You be happy, you do your thing. I'm just not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, pretend that you're actually a female. I'm just not. You go find happiness where you can find happiness. Do your own thing. Yeah. Whatever you do in your home is your thing. Yet we've now had this run of mentally deranged trans shooters in schools, right? That has been some of the enhancement of the violence that we've seen on the left. Who is the only party talking about their marriage to the trans movement? The left.
That's right.
This all goes hand in hand with an enhanced level of violence that they've been willing to put forth in the public and against public officials.
Threats against U.S. Supreme Court justices have risen sharply in recent years. The data and documented incidents show a pronounced asymmetry. Conservative justices have faced far more intense, targeted, and violent threats than liberal ones, especially high-profile conservatives. Even AI is not hiding it or can't hide it. Now, the news media will, just like Los is saying. They're going to tell you that, it happens to everybody. It's just part of being in that.
It's part of public service.
Yeah, it's part of public. You have to tolerate so much of that.
Yeah, I saw Charlie Kirk get killed.
Dude, right.
Live.
On live television. What was he doing? Debating? Did he ask for violence? Did he yell at people? No.
The last thing he was talking about was the violence on the trans movement, as a man involved with another man who was pretending to be a woman shot and killed him.
The violence on the left is embraced. The violence on the left, the flames are fanned, and you can try to pretend that it's not the case. If you don't agree with that, you can try to pretend it. But even AI, which is typically a liberal slant, just like Google searches are a liberal slant, and yet they can't even tell you that it's not happening that way, because it is.
But this has been my warning since January of 2025, when the Republicans were able to take the House and have the Senate and also have the presidency. I've been saying this for now going on, more than 2 years. I said the less power they have, referring to the left, the more violent they get. You can write that down. The less power they have, the more violent they get. And so I want you to take a listen to Amy Coney Barrett as she's giving her testimony, and she's talking about the enhanced security that her security detail is putting her through.
They have required me to, my children, to think about and see things that children should not have to see or think about. One example is when threats to my life were particularly intense a few years ago around the time of the Dobbs leak. My security detail sent me home with a bulletproof vest, and I carried it into my house, put it into my bedroom, dropped it down on a table, turned around, and my 12-year-old son was standing in the doorway of my bedroom, and he wanted to know what it was and why I had it, and I didn't know how to respond because maybe I lack imagination, but I didn't expect that performing this service was going to put me in the position of explaining to my children what a bulletproof vest was and why I had to wear one. It's also been reported in the news that roughly 6 weeks ago, I was the victim of a swatting incident. At that point, my teenage son, one of my teenage sons, opened the door to go out with friends and saw in our street, it was full of police cars, who had responded to a false report of gunshots and raised voices in my home. I was very, very grateful that I had Supreme Court police outside my home because they were able to stop and meet with and explain to the county police that it had been a false alarm, and so the police did not actually attempt to enter our home. Many of us, me included, have received threatening anonymous deliveries designed to intimidate and harass us. They are often sent in the name of Judge Salas's son, who I think, as you mentioned in the beginning, Mr. Chairman, is deceased because he was killed by a disgruntled lawyer who showed up at Judge Salas's home intending to kill her, but her son, 20 years old at the time, opened the door and took the bullet instead. Her husband, standing behind, was seriously injured. So I think the message on these deliveries being sent in his name is clear. As Justice Kagan said, federal judges across the country, throughout the judiciary, including the Supreme Court, continue to do their jobs without fear or favor, but the threat level is really high.
You can hear it in her voice, dude.
The less power they have, the more violent they get.
You hear her voice quiver, though. She's really frightened. And I understand why. The crazy part about it, when you hear her deliver that, and your statement's exactly right, of course. When you hear her, the left just applauded to them, whether to themselves or they're thinking, it's working. We're getting exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Double thumbs up.
Look at how we're winning despite not winning.
That's right.
And we'll go through a story time next hour. I'll give you as many as 20 quotes. The communist has no issue with violence ever. Ever.
That's why that movement has killed so many people.
It's the hallmark of their political, like, it's if you were to say, all right, what is your primary weapon? It's violence. In some political movements, it's nonviolence, or it's economics, or it's our ability to be able to debate in the arena of ideas. The communists, their primary is violence.
Go to first. That's the first thing we're going to.
Violence and intimidation.
Because it's effective and it works. Look at her voting record.
Yeah,
she's scared. That woman's terrified. You can hear it in her voice.
And at this point, they're like this guerrilla force. It's like, are you in the majority? No. Are you a minority that is seducing portions of the country? Yes. And I don't think that those that are being seduced fully understand you're signing up for violence. I
think a lot of them understand it. Dude, by the sheer numbers.
I would like to believe that because history shows us there's a lot of people that end up going, hey, that sounds great. I'm going to be taken care of. All right, I'm not going to shoot anybody. I would never do that. And then you end up basically being ruled by murderers. And if you're told if you step out of line, you're next.
Yep. We're putting you up against the wall.
That's how history works with these people.
It always does. And yet, the seduction works about every 40 or 50 years.
And you have to fight it off.
And
look, explain it to people.
I don't feel like, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it feels, and maybe it's just because it's my experience now and I didn't experience as a young man, as a young child when Reagan was talking about it. I remember him talking about it, but I wasn't fully involved. I didn't understand. It feels like it has more momentum now than it ever has, even back then. And maybe I'm wrong about that because I'm living it now, but it feels that way.
Well, we had examples that could be shown on a regular basis where there was an East and West Germany, and we saw how those under communist rule were living. And we had the Soviet bloc and how desperate those people would get. And they would talk about what their lives were like. We don't have those out front examples any longer because the Chinese don't say much of anything.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Nobody talks about the rolling blackouts in Cuba.
With intent, right? But they don't want that message
They don't want that message out there. They don't want you to know exactly how it works. And so I just think that the examples of the 1980s are no longer in your face that made everyone in this country who saw themselves as a patriot as, I don't want anything to do with communism.
And now all you have to do is walk around your neighborhood and see who's got American flags flying. That'll tell you at least one political side. That's where your friends are, if you're in line with this show anyway. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3 when we come back. Economy's still growing well, even despite the war in Iran. Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra, Neil Bortz, and The Kimmer Show are all online for you anytime at thepodcastpark.com. Plus all of Extra's exclusive podcasts like Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and so much more. All at thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.
Got an email. Gentleman said I signed up for a maintenance plan and they scheduled me for 9 to 11 yesterday morning. Great experience. Tech called on the way. Got right here at 9 a.m. He quickly diagnosed two main problems in our 19-year-old system. Figure was just going to tell me, you got to replace this thing. It's old. He didn't. He said, I think we fixed both things. Get you another year or two out of this 19-year-old system. So thankfully, our buddy Tom reached out to Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. As we talk about things being expensive and you want things to last as long as they can, especially with big purchases like an HVAC. The fact that Central doesn't throw you a curveball, they're not coming in there with the answer that, like a VC company would want, which is, yep, got to replace it. No choice. You're out of luck, pal. Locally owned Central Heating and Air Conditioning does people right. Another example of it. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
When you're looking for a luxury vehicle, make Jim Ellis Cadillac your first stop.
At Jim Ellis Cadillac, you'll find a premium selection of Cadillac models, including the iconic Escalade, the sophisticated XT5, the athletic CT5, and the all-electric Lyriq.
At Jim Ellis Cadillac, the experience is just as impressive as the vehicles. Our team is committed to providing exceptional customer service with a professional, no-pressure approach that makes shopping easy and enjoyable.
And the Jim Ellis Expressway makes shopping even more convenient. You can browse inventory, value your trade, explore payment options, and complete much of your purchase online, all from the comfort of home.
So whether you prefer to shop online or visit in person, Jim Ellis Cadillac's ready to help you find the Cadillac that fits your lifestyle. Visit JimEllisCadillac.com or stop by Jim Ellis Cadillac on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter. Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
Jim Ellis, expect the best.
Hello, folks. This is your captain speaking. As we prepare to take off, I'd like you to draw your attention to the dimmed lights, lit candles, and soothing sounds of smooth jazz. We'll be making love shortly and taking off in just a moment. Please fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. And this is your captain speaking again. As you can see, we're experiencing engine failure. Looks like we're not going to get this bird off the ground tonight.
Sound like your sex life? Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? If you're struggling with ED, we understand the feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there is help. You need Dr. Deal and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They specialize in treatments like the P-Shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimix. Schedule your appointment today. Call 404-777-1911 and learn more online at tbtofga.com.
Still on the fence about a fence? Hi, this is Jared with Accent Fence. Protect your home, your family, and your pets with a brand new fence from Accent Fence. Whether you want the classic look of wood, the durability of aluminum or steel, or the affordability of chain link, Accent Fence builds it right the first time. And with no money down financing available, your dream fence is more affordable than ever. Read our 5-star customer reviews online and see why so many homeowners trust Accent Fence. For quality, craftsmanship, and dependable service, visit accentfence.net today for your free quote.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House, and now the thought of the day. There's only a few things that a safe from the Safe House can't protect you from. The biggest one is socialist Democrats trying to steal elections. Does that really happen? Yes, it does. So for real security, drop by the Safe House and let us show you how to protect your hard-earned valuables from theft and fire. We are the exclusive Browning and Fort Knox safe dealer in the area. That's right, we're the only ones. So don't go unprotected. Go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com. That's AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
It's 2 a.m. and everyone is asleep, except for the potential intruder walking up your driveway. This is Matt Harvey with Alert 360 Security, and we stop criminals in their tracks with our floodlight video surveillance cameras. Our floodlight surveillance cameras notify you of activity, activate flashing lights, and verbally inform any potential intruders that they are being recorded. Stop break-ins before they occur with Alert 360 Security. Visit us on the web at alert360atlanta.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Wednesday, July 15th, and here are your headlines. Supreme Court justices are asking Congress for nearly $15 million in additional dollars for security funding as threats against the court continue to rise. Justice Amy Coney Barrett says she had to explain to her children why she wears a bulletproof vest, while Justice Lena Kagan says threats against justices have increased by nearly 40% just this year. Georgia health officials are warning residents about a rise in cases of cyclosporiasis, a parasite that spreads through contaminated food or water. The illness can cause severe diarrhea, cramping, and fatigue, with symptoms sometimes lasting for weeks. And finally, a new bipartisan housing law is taking aim at corporate home ownership in Metro Atlanta. The measure, backed by Senator Raphael Warnock, limits private equity companies to owning 350 single-family homes, with companies exceeding that number facing steep fines. Supporters say the move is designed to improve housing affordability in a region where large investors own more than 72,000 homes and 1 in 4 single-family rentals. Today's weather will feature clouds and occasional rain showers. It'll be a high of 84 and a low of 72 with your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10 here on Extra. Need to let you know about something that's real special going on. 680 The Fan partnering with Camp Twin Lakes again, continuing to provide medically supportive, life-changing camp experiences for thousands of Georgia children facing serious illnesses and disabilities and other life challenges. It's all presented by Taco Mac, 13th year of it, and it happens tomorrow on our sister station. The Fan front office Lo's been a part of this a bunch of times. It is it's special. It's good, and it's what we're supposed to be doing. I feel like this is what we're supposed to be doing, taking care of great kids in need.
If you don't know about Camp Twin Lakes, it's one of the greatest places that exists in our country over in Rutledge, Georgia, where every single week, especially during the summer, they have campers, and some of them are dealing with cancer. Some of them might have a blood disorder. Some of them might have a physical ailment. But it's something every single week, and their staff and their medical facilities and everything they have are top-notch. So for that week, that kid gets to be a regular kid, and the parents get to actually send their kid off to camp, just like a regular summer camp. So it's a little miracle in Rutledge, Georgia, so we'd really appreciate your support.
And it's funny, man. Growing up, Jacob had some severe food allergies. I said, not anything like these kids are dealing with. But I just remember when, my wife would bake him a cake that didn't have egg in it because he was allergic to egg, and didn't have dairy in it because he was allergic to dairy and all that stuff. And I remember him at, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6, somewhere around in there. He just looks up with these, puppy dog eyes to his mama and just said, I wish I could eat the same thing other kids ate. And that is just a micro incident that in comparison to what some of these kids are dealing with. So I remember how that broke my heart. So I can only understand or only believe that when those parents send their kids off to Camp Twin Lakes, they have a big old smile on their face, because just like Lo said, it's going to be a regular kid for a day.
The ropes course alone, kids get up there and they're doing stuff that typically they're not able to do at a regular camp, but everything is specialized and built for them there.
680thefan.com/camp. There's all kinds of incentive items, and that's another thing that we know around here anyway. When you see our operations manager, Scott McFarland's office start filling up with cool stuff, you know something like this is coming. We're building. We're building the stockpile to be able to help raise extra money through cool autographed items that we get from the Braves or Georgia Tech or Georgia or whomever, and those will be auctioned off as part of the Camp Twin Lakes Radiothon.
I'll give you an example. So when you get into the month of July, and this is going to be coming up next week that they have Camp Crazy Legs, and that is for kids with spina bifida. They have Camp Crescent Moon. That's going to be kids with sickle cell. Obviously, have a different level of need. Yep. They have Camp No Limitations for limb amputations and other deficiencies. These are all going all in 1 week.
Yeah, it's great.
Where kids get to be there from the 19th all the way to the 25th. It's just a really special place.
Make sure you're part of it tomorrow on our sister station, The Fan, 680 93.7 FM. Hopefully they will check in with us at some point during the show tomorrow and let us know how it's going over there. And I hope you'll, if you can, be part of the silent auction or make a donation, however it fits you the best. But participate if you can. Otherwise, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And bless that good work that we're trying to do here for Camp Twin Lakes at Dickey Broadcasting and us promoting it on Extra, but it's going on over on The Fan. So there's a war going on in the world. That's nobody likes wars. War bad, yes, of course.
Is it a war or is it a beating?
It feels like it's definitely more of a beating right now because you're just taking out things at will, trying to bend the Iranians to finally go, okay, we can't live like this.
I remember being told by the left like a month ago that the Iranians were winning.
Yeah, well,
how much winning are they doing right now?
They're not.
Sweetie pie?
Yeah, no, they're definitely not. I'm not worried about that part. But I do wonder what it'll take to actually make real change there. And I don't unless that regime changes, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how that works. I'm hopeful that, and I know we're in there for a good mission and a reasoned and moral mission.
I'm telling you, this is what's going to be the normal. We are going to be spanking them every now and again. It's just going to be part of it.
When they pop their head up, like Papa, what was that? What's that thing at the
the whole mole thing?
Yeah, Papa Mole or whatever it is. Yeah, Whack-a-mole. There we go.
That's what we're going to be doing for the foreseeable future. In the meantime, the job is do not let it hurt the economy domestically and internationally.
Which we've been very fortunate that it has not. CNBC expecting the worst and got something different.
Here we go. This is our June release of the Consumer Price Index, expecting a headline number to be negative 0.1%. This is 4 times more negative, minus 0.4%. That would be the biggest negative drop that we've seen since 4/20, since basically COVID timing, which really affected, of course, all of the inflation data points. So that goes back basically 6-year low. And if we look at the CPI month over month on the core, also under expectations, comes in at goose egg, 0. 0 would be the smallest amount. It would equal Jan of 21. To find a smaller change or a more negative change or minus 0.1%, that's May of 2020. And if we look at the year-over-year numbers, year-over-year headline, 3.5. 0.3 less than expected, much less than the 4.2 in the rearview mirror. That would be the lightest since March of this year when it was 3.3. Year-over-year core, 2.6, 0.2 less than expectations, 0.3 less than the rearview mirror. 2.6 equals March, 2.5 brings you to February of this year.
Dude, good news. If you don't understand it, it's okay.
Good news.
The point is, it's very good news. And look, he goes into a lot of things, and sometimes it is difficult to follow. It is for me too. But the economy continues to grow and succeed. Inflation continues to cool off, even though they're telling you no, that everything's bad, everything's terrible. Is there work to do? Of course. Donald Trump be the first person to tell you that. But even with a war in Iran, everything's improving. So anyone who's wants to change course now is nuts and put the commies in charge, because that's what they are at this midterm. If you were to turn the House and the Senate or both over to the commies, dude, and to to do a complete 180, because that's what they're going to do, is a complete 180, you would be insane. I'm hoping America's smarter than that.
All right, let me make this as simple to understand as possible. And not like I'm trying to downplay this to the audience, but I want to, like, how would you explain this to your Aunt Peg or anybody else? We are now in a position at what is now a year and a half of here's how they told you there was going to be major growth based on the big, beautiful bill and the moves they had made, and here's how it's going to affect the economy moving forward. We have actually reached the point with this data where your buying power is now getting ahead of inflation. We've been trying to catch it. We've been trying to catch it for the better part of a year and a half because it was way out of whack under Joe Biden. When we were sitting with 9% inflation, you knew it, I knew it, your buying power was reduced significantly. We are reaching the point now when it comes to real wages, real money you're bringing home, it is now beginning to outpace inflation.
It's taken some time, and there's more work to be done.
And by the way, that's with a war going on with something. Here's where your fuel prices are. Here's what's going on here.
With a war going on, and nothing has changed except in a positive direction. Because typically you think when in wartime things are going to be slipping and going in a different direction. Like Lo said, the only thing that we're struggling with, and it's not a giant struggle, is gas prices. That's what you're seeing. And that's a constant reminder. I feel like that's the front page of the newspaper anytime you drive by a gas station. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's $3.50 a gallon or whatever. Still cheaper than it was under Joe Biden, meaning you're trending in the right direction. Still, even with a war. Understand what is happening, the positivity, the growth, and the encouraging news that we're getting in this Trump economy versus what we had for 4 years under Joe Biden.
And now let's go to the administration, who yesterday wanted to make sure on Fox News that they got the victory lap. Again, based on, here are the economists and what they're saying. Here's their projection. And what we've seen consistently under this administration is a underscoring of how many jobs are going to come into the marketplace, and they've significantly produced more, while also when they're prognosticating inflation, the administration has been able to deliver an economy that's actually cooling it off. And so here is what the administration decided to let everyone know about the economists.
It's sure, energy prices have come down a lot, but everything else is going down too. And I think that's why, if you look at Bloomberg, they surveyed 67 economists, and 67 economists got it wrong because they didn't understand that it wasn't just about energy. It's about all these other things that President Trump is doing to cut costs.
Big thing Americans obviously care about are gas prices, especially during the summertime. If we can pull up this AAA chart showing gas prices. Right now, they're down from what they were about a month ago, but they're still significantly higher than they were this time 1 year ago. Obviously, the war in Iran is throwing a wrench into this. As long as that conflict is going on, should Americans expect these prices to just basically keep seesawing?
Well, I think that one of the ways you should think about it is that the oil prices were up almost at $150 a barrel at the peak of the conflict, and now they're low 80s today, and they were in the 60s and 70s just a week ago. So what happens is they take the oil, they move it to the refinery, and then they turn it into gasoline. So there's a whole bunch of gasoline deflation on the way. And even with the renewed conflict, if you look at what oil prices are today, they're about half of what they were in the peak.
I love the fact that 67 out of 67 got it wrong. Not 66 to 1.
No.
Not 65 to 2. 67 said, hey, it's going to be this way. And they were all wrong.
All right, I didn't check all 67. All right. But let's face it, you are putting together a pretty good straw man argument. All 67. Well, tell me who they are. But we have consistently seen that when you do have the prognostication of where it's going, they have been wrong. And they didn't
it's
march
not the
out,
first time, though.
No, they didn't march out Scott Bessent this time. Because he's the one
shoot him up, dude.
He's the one who does it in a very smarmy fashion, let you know.
I love it.
I know what's happening here. You don't know what's happening here.
Yeah. But I'll explain it to you like a child.
Exactly. But these are all good. This is all good news.
Yeah,
and then the hope, it's not like when it comes to what our interest rates are, that they are out of whack by what has gone on in the last 40 years. But with what we experienced in recent years, which were very low interest rates, that's what people are looking for. And the only way that happens, putting more capital into the marketplace, is if inflation cools. And so that is going to be that next move of, do we see a rate drop coming? And for those of us who have purchased homes in the last several years, we're looking, we're waiting to see, because the rates have largely locked people into their homes. Tug, you talked about it.
We'd love to downsize.
It makes no sense to downsize your home.
We would waste every bit of equity we have.
It would just
be nuts.
Because you would probably be tripling your interest rate from what you currently have. And so that's where you want to see some of the cooling of inflation so that it does affect the interest rates moving forward. So those people that do have to pay those credit cards or do need that second home or do want to downsize to another home, they're able to do it.
I love the fact that it was CNBC that had to report that really, really good news on inflation. I mean, they're not exactly a conservative outlet, and this is the same outlet that told you Georgia and Tennessee are the worst places to live because they're not woke enough.
Stay out of here.
That's right. Yeah. So that just tells you, they had to be, the producers just had to be biting nails into to have to deliver that news. When we come back, the rest of the country is about to find out what we've been telling you for 6 years on the Morning Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, July 15th. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game from Philadelphia ended with the American League beating the National League 4-0 last night as the American League pitching struck out 15 in the game. The league is now off until Thursday. As for the Braves, they will resume second half action on Friday. From the World Cup, a massive matchup right here in Atlanta today as England and Argentina will battle for the right to play in Sunday's final. Spain is already there and awaiting Sunday's matchup. The game in Atlanta kicks off today at 3 o'clock. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Summer is here, and hopefully vacation is on the horizon. Whether the beach or maybe you're more of a mountain person, you've planned and saved in order to take some much-needed time off. You planned your vacation. Shouldn't you plan your retirement? You planned for a week in the sun, but have you planned for decades of golden years? Master Plan Retirement works with you to create a holistic, comprehensive retirement plan in order to offer the one thing your time off needs the most: peace of mind. From income and growth, tax strategy, legacy planning, and more, Master Plan Retirement walks alongside you to help ensure your golden years stay golden. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Visit masterplanretire.com. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Join Daniel Matalon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. This week's guest is Joyette Holmes, chair of the Georgia State Board of Pardons and Paroles. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
So you got into an argument. Things got heated. Then a fight broke out, and it landed you in jail. Now what? You need A Second Chance Bail Bonds. They can get you or your loved one out of jail quickly, in most cases in a few hours. So make the right call. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
It's Toyota's Big One sales event at Marietta Toyota now through August 3rd. And if you commute every day, the 2026 Toyota Camry may be the one to see first. It's now all hybrid with up to 53 miles per gallon city, an easy way to cut fuel stops without giving up comfort. And with 50 Camrys in stock, Marietta Toyota has the selection to help you find the trim and color you actually want. Every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, limited time and unlimited mileage for as long as you own it. And we've been voted Best of Cobb for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on the new 2026 Camry Hybrid, as low as 4.99% APR for 48 months through August 3rd. Visit us on Cop Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota, since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 48 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers qualify. Offer ends 8/3/2026. See dealer for details. All prices exclude tax, tag, and title, and include $699 dock fee and $257 electronic tag fee.
Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Jerry.
And we are
Tom and Jerry's Roofing.
Yes, that's our real names.
And together, we have 70 years in the roofing industry. But taking care of you and your home is our priority and our passion.
But our other passion is taking care of veterans, and that's why every roof we do gives back to the vets.
That's right, Tom. First, we take care of your roof, and then we take care of the brave men and women who protect us.
So if you have roofing issues, from repairs to replacement, call Tom and Jerry's Roofing and help us give back to America's heroes.
Find us at tomandjerrysroofing.com.
That's tomandjerrysroofing.com.
The American dream is alive and well with the Victor Armendariz Show. Raised a first-generation American, Victor is a Mexican who grew up witnessing his father achieve the American dream. You will not get spin here, just the facts and opinion from someone who absolutely believes in American exceptionalism. The Victor Armendariz Show. Always available at thepodcastpark.com and streaming free on the Extra 1063 app.
Tug and Los until 10. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 1063 across the social media platforms. What's up to the extras on YouTube today? We appreciate y'all being here.
Love you, extras.
Yes. Y'all the best. The fact you've named yourself, I think it's wonderful. That's the coolest and the most clever. I don't think I have that whatever that clever gene that y'all have is. And but I recognize it when I see it. And I hope when you watch the show on YouTube or listen on the app or 106.3 FM, 1230 AM, however you listen, I hope you go, yep, I knew that. Because, you know, the Morning Extra and Extra as a whole, they tell me things before anybody else talks about it. It doesn't matter if it's Clay and Buck, no matter who it is. I feel like we get to some things earlier than everybody else, and we have evidence of it.
We'll just be ahead of Clay and Buck by 6 years on this one. We've only been,
which Clay's going to be here today.
Yeah, it'll be like Big Clay.
Yeah.
Check this out. Did you know about what had gone on with the voting in Georgia in 2020? Okay, so I found this funny, too.
Yeah.
You had the Lincoln Project, who had a post yesterday about what is going to be on Thursday. Donald Trump is planning to address the country. He's going to talk about foreign influence in our elections. And what the left is concerned about is he's going to point out what happened in Georgia. Now, like John Ossoff went on Jen Psaki to explain, like, well, he's only doing it because he's concerned about how the black vote, how they're ascending in Georgia. That ain't it. Okay, there's a reason why Stacey Abrams lost. Yeah. Black men didn't want to vote for her.
I mean, lost.
What we had here in the state of Georgia and the rest of the country is starting to figure this out. The rest of them, hopefully by Thursday, start asking the same questions. Why do we have a lack of chain of custody? Why do we have a multitude of ballots that we're not able to basically show where they're coming from? Why are they not folded? All the questions that we've
down
had.
ballots, the votes down ballot that are missing.
And so here's how the numbers end up playing out. When you look at the amount of ballots that should have been invalidated that were printed off on different paper, there's another one, and then that they're bubbling only were for Joe Biden and Ossoff. That was it. This, I think, becomes part of the public record where people start understanding what we have been pointing out and what we've seen from Fulton County didn't want to have the federal government to look into. When they raided the facility there to get a hold of those ballots to take a look at everything.
They sued to get them back.
Yeah, they were like, no, we need those back. Well, why?
You can't look at them. You can't, because they know to.
And as we said, and as Tug has been very adamant about, I think it's a really smart way to put this. You're not looking to relitigate this. What you're looking to do is to point it out in the interest of transparency that this did happen.
I want to be able to trust when I go to the voting booth. At this point, I don't know that I do. I'm told it's the safest and most secure, but I know anything connected to the internet is hackable. And here's the other thing. This is the thing that gets pointed out a lot, Los. Well, we've examined it. We didn't see anything that got hacked. You're telling me the hackers didn't leave a trace? Of course they didn't. Right, they don't want you to know they were there.
So that was another piece of comedy. How we were taking ballot samples in 2020 from counties we knew there wasn't a problem in.
Yeah.
As a representation of, well, I mean, if there's not a problem in Hall County. Why would there be a problem in Fulton? Oh, I don't know.
Maybe they're completely different counties.
Maybe it's completely different. By the way, this from the Lincoln Project and those dorks. Reminder to all the conspiracy theorists claiming Georgia had hacked voting machines. Georgia uses paper ballots. You cannot hack paper.
Okay, I live in Georgia, and I know when I go and hit the buttons on the digital machine. Does it print out something with a QR code that I have no idea what it says or what it means or what it does when it gets scanned?
And that was the failure of the Lincoln Project
stupid.
and those dorks to not understand what we've been talking about and how this has played out. This is going to, and I pull up this information. This ended up being posted by Jeff Fulgham. And he's another one of these people who's been trying to explain this to other people and keep this at the forefront. So when you look at the tabulated ballots, batch 011 and 035, you have over 8,000 double-scanned Georgia 2020 ballots identified. You have them double-scanned in this batch.
So we already know that.
Two different, yes.
And I remember the AJC even reporting about that.
Yeah.
It's not like that was a secret.
It's not like this is new,
Yeah.
but it's like new to the rest of the country that we had some serious games that were being played here.
Yep. And then Fulton County, again, suing so people can't look at the ballots. If you have nothing to hide, you would be like, oh, dude, it's on the up and up. Here it is. Let me show you how dumb you are for thinking it's not on the up and up.
And listen, Joe Biden is not coming back. All right? Like, that political career is over. That is all over with. That man lost every election that he ever ran for president. Every election that he ran for president. This is now moving forward into Jon Ossoff. He was the beneficiary. And keep in mind, too, Jon Ossoff lost the initial vote. He lost the initial vote. The problem was his opponent didn't get above 50%, so here was the runoff.
And I forget what the number was, but it was really close.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like 49.9 or something crazy.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's ridiculous. It drives you crazy.
So Ossoff is sitting there going like, dude, better not bring this stuff up. When
I'll bring everything up. I don't give a damn.
It's going to become public knowledge that he was the beneficiary of, as I've put it, the most statistically improbable election in American history. And the rest of the country is going to find out about it tomorrow night.
That's right.
Hopefully.
They are. Well, and you can hear it here on Extra because we'll air it there too. He's definitely going to get into that. There's no doubt. My Axios is reporting it, and look, they're a leftist outlet. They're reporting that he'll get into that. Now, I'm not saying that's the only thing that he'll get into tomorrow night. I'm sure the war in Iran. I'm sure the economy. I'm sure he's going to talk about a lot of different things. But this is going to be one of them, and he may lead with this.
So, do you want that other conspiracy theory, that other discussion point coming out of Venezuela?
Do tell.
Because so much of what foreign interference has been talked about originates out of Venezuela in these elections that are held on these digital platforms. And part of when we went and took their dictator out of his sleep,
wakey,
the discussion point was, are we now going to start finding out about where the bodies are buried when it comes to foreign election interference? And I believe that is going to be another one of the discussion points we'll hear about tomorrow night.
I'm hoping that'll be the case. Because, again, it's not going to change anything. We're not trying to change anything except everything moving forward. Not trying to change anything in the past because you can't. But everything moving forward should be scrutinized. Everything moving forward should be transparent. And I don't know that it is still to this moment sitting here.
When we had, it was like the echo chamber, and they were all instructed to say the same thing. This is not conspiratorial. We know this from some of the previous emails from WikiLeaks. There's emails that goes out from the Democrat Party. Here's what we're going to say. Here's how we're going to talk about this. That happens every single day.
And that's why you hear it, no matter what channel you go on, it's the same
It's
stuff.
the same talking point. And you're wondering, like, why is it the same phrasing? The words that were given were the safest and securest elections in American history. Over and over and over. To the point where it just became something that people would say, like, well, I heard they were the safest and most secure elections in American history. Okay.
Yeah, keep believing that, because Alan in Sandy Springs does not. 404-741-1230. Alan, what did you see happen?
Hey, guys, you might remember I called in a long time ago when you guys were first on this. And, yes, it's been a very long time ago. What I saw in Fulton County, December 12th, 2020, SEIU union members from Wisconsin and Pennsylvania were in my condo complex registering people to vote for the senatorial runoff election and also accepting ballots. What's significant about December 12th, 2020? The last day to register to vote in that runoff election was December 5th, 2020. They were still out there registering people to vote in that runoff election beyond the cutoff date. There was fraud in the election, especially the senatorial runoff election. You can deny it. These people can deny it all they want to. I saw it firsthand.
See, there you go. Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
It's like a friend of mine who was a poll watcher down at State Farm got sent home. And then they kept counting. Dude, everybody's got some sort of story or connection to it.
Only in a very liberal media can I watch CCTV video of people sending home poll watchers to then start pulling out just boxes of ballots to keep scanning them after everyone's been sent home. The count's over with for the night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm told nothing to see here. No, it's no big deal.
Everything's on the up and up. Los.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
When we continue,
my lying eyes, huh?
Yes, that's right. When we continue on Extra, there is a group in America that has a favorable view of Hamas. It'll break your heart, but not surprise you. Next on Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Read some more articles today about housing affordability. Regardless of what the left says, I do think most Americans would like to own their own home, but they're getting expensive, super expensive. The price is increasing way faster than inflation, and why? Oh, because people in regulatory agencies and government want to feel powerful, so let's have some rules and regulations. I happen to have a real comprehensive list here. I don't have time, about a minute left, to give you some of the ideas of why homes are so expensive, but listen up. We'll start with the biggest culprit, zoning regulations. In many cities, no duplexes, no triplexes, no fourplexes. You can't have a mother-in-law mini home in the backyard. Small lot sizes, no way. Townhomes, not in our neighborhood. So builders have to go for larger, more expensive homes. Many communities have requirements on lot sizes, 7,500, 10,000 square feet, half acre, 1 acre. Watch the price of that home go up. Setback requirements, that increases the cost of land. Is it 30 feet where you live? Side yards, 10 feet. Backyards, 25 feet. Why? And then we have government pencil necks that come up with new building code requirements. You gotta have energy efficient appliances, more electrical outlets, ground fault protection, wider stairways for the lardasses, larger bathrooms, and the permit fees. Let's see, building permit, sewer connection fee, water tap fee, school impact fee, park impact fee, transportation fee, environmental fees. And in Collier County, where I live, you want to build a house next year, you better get the building permit this year. That's how long it'll take for that to be completed. And then there's design review boards. The pitch of your roof, exterior colors, window styles, what percentage of your outside walls can be brick, where can you put your garage? It all costs money, and I'm running over time. Door widths, hallway widths, bathroom layouts, elevator requirements. Okay, I hope you have some sort of an idea about why homes are so expensive right now. It's one big 3-syllable word. Government. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Need a break from all the political talk? Tune into Holy Crap It's Sports with Pete Davis every weekday at 5:20 on The Kimmer Show. It's your daily dose of what's hot in the sports world, from the field to the locker room, with Pete's unfiltered opinion and a side of laughs. It's smart, it's funny, it's sports with edge. Holy Crap It's Sports. Catch it at 5:15 only on The Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
The U.S. military is striking Iran again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's the fifth straight day of attacks. It started about 2 hours ago.
They'll continue until I say it's enough. I mean, they'll continue. They've been... the word the military likes to use is degrade. They've been degraded.
And President Trump also tells Fox the attacks will ramp up next week, threatening to blow up Iran's power plants and bridges unless they return to nuclear negotiations. A U.S. Navy blockade around Iran's ports is back in place as both countries vie for control of shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran keeps launching missiles and drones at other Gulf countries.
CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper gave a number we haven't heard yet. Nearly a dozen civilian crew members killed, missing, or injured by the Iranian strikes. And he added, U.S. forces are holding Iran accountable for unwarranted aggression that continues to endanger innocent lives. Iran has insisted they are not firing at their neighbors, but firing at U.S. targets in those countries.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. The Coast Guard keeps searching for 3 people still missing in the San Francisco Bay the morning after a pontoon boat capsized and sank.
The reports we've had from witnesses is that there was rough seas, and apparently the vessel began to take on water and was turned over in the bay.
San Francisco Fire Chief Dean Crispin, 17 people were rescued, but 1 later died. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche goes to the Senate next hour for a confirmation hearing that could get testy.
Todd Blanche is expected to face some tough questions, and not just from Democrats, but potentially Republicans, too. North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis had said last month a proposed DOJ fund to pay those who claimed the government was once weaponized against them might mean a no vote for Blanche from him if January 6th rioters would have qualified. The weaponization fund is no longer being proposed, and Tillis has since said he's in a good place with Blanche.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. There's also a confirmation hearing next hour for Jay Clayton, the Director of National Intelligence nominee. America's listening to Fox News.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when pain is a part of everyday life. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation, which is one of the most common causes of ongoing aches and pains from aging, overexertion, or just daily living. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula, no prescription, no masking of symptoms, just real relief so you can keep moving forward. My pain almost stopped me. My hands were so bad I couldn't even button my own shirt. I couldn't paint. I couldn't write. And Tanya was the one who told me, I'm not listening to you whine anymore unless you try everything. Try Relief Factor. I did. It helped me get my life back. As America celebrates her 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. To commemorate, Relief Factor is offering a special patriotic price at $17.76, so you can pursue your happiness being pain-free. $17.76, 3-week quick starts ready for you right now. Relief Factor, because freedom just feels better without pain. Visit ReliefFactor.com. ReliefFactor.com. 800-4-RELIEF.
Does your friend listen to an old station whose news gives them the blues? Set your friend right. Tell him to download the Extra 106.3 app.
Halfway through the work week, Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Well, it's up to you wherever you're listening, however you're listening, the extras, or even on the app.
Hello.
Buenos dias. I've been...
he's oblying at you.
I've been
somebody got an A.
Brushing up on my Spanish.
If you did miss that segment from last week when Tug Cowart showed that when he went to Dalton and he showed everybody that he stepped back into the Spanish classroom.
Right.
A+.
And the crazy thing was, when I was in high school, I took 2 or 3 years of French, whatever it was required. And did okay. Used it when I was in the Navy in France. They obviously held my hand through it. They just appreciated the fact that I was trying, I think. And Mama always said, she was like, you need to take Spanish. I think it would be more helpful. And I just, because your parents tell you to do it, you go the opposite way. It's not a good decision. But it was fine. And I realized that, she was right. And then when I went back to college the second time, I think it was the second time, might have been the third time, Can't tell you for sure, but I took Spanish and did fairly well.
That's why Tug Cowart, a little bit later this year, is going to take the South American Challenge. We are dropping him off in South America, and he is going to work his way all the way back across the border, across the Rio Grande, and back into Texas as a victory.
Who would like to come with me? You're more than welcome to join. We're going to try to get some ointment so we avoid screw worms and things like that as we come through some of those rougher areas.
It's like the Running Man, except they just want his kidneys.
That's right. And you have to run real fast because they catch you, they're going to take them.
The cartel
and put them on the black market.
He's going to have to work out a deal with some of them.
What's a kidney worth?
Oh, on the black market, like 20, 25 grand from what I've seen.
Goodness gracious.
I remember seeing that on National Geographic on Trafficked.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is a industry, a black market industry for organs out there, and that is scary and gross.
And scary and gross is
But
right.
that also only increased with the Biden administration when it came to child sex trafficking, when it came to human trafficking and organ trafficking. All of it increased, and for some reason, we were looking at all as we're just trying to be nice and friendly.
Yes, we're helping.
Yeah, we've created modern-day slaves in this country because of Biden's policies at the border.
Awful, awful, awful. So, hoping that won't happen to me as I get dropped into South America.
But it'll be fun to watch.
But we need to get some.
Let's see how good as Abla is trying to get back home.
It's no bueno. Abla no bueno. It's not good. Not good at all. I do want to read you a headline that, the first one that we saw that kind of made me smile this morning was on Morning Joe. We watched this crap, so you don't have to on MS Now. And they had defense spending, quote, we're fighting communism. It's great that people like Mike Johnson are calling the people what they actually are. And Los and I had this discussion because it took people a long time. Los kind of led the charge. It was one of those where I was like, yep. When I heard him say, I was like, yep, that's right. And you could see it. You could see it. You can't even argue it. They're talking about taking over the means of production and rent controls, just all these crazy common things. So, and it was funny, though, because Neil Bortz, he finally came around. I don't know, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago?
Maybe right around in there.
Yeah. He was like, I used to think y'all were just calling them communists. He was like, you're right. They're actually communists.
It wasn't meant to be a derogatory term. It was meant to be a descriptive term. They're communists. And it went so far back as when I brought up BLM and their platform. They were trained socialists. They are communists. This is what they do. They use political power in order to further the revolution. And so whenever anybody was like, oh, BLM, you should put it on the street, I'm like, I don't really think you should put communism written out on the street.
It said it in the About Me.
I think communism pretty much sucks.
I'm not kidding. If you remember on the About Me tab, it says we are trained Marxist communists.
Their platform actually talked about not having Israel exist and the need for socialism and communism.
And then I started linking it together because if you ever went to the place where you would donate, like if you wanted to donate to BLM, it would take you to Act Blue. You're like, oh.
Well, that's strange.
That's odd. I see what you're doing here. And then it all just kind of fell into place and made sense. This headline's a little different. There's a band called Fish, and I don't know if you know Fish. They're kind of a jam band. Grateful Dead.
If you like marijuana and jam bands.
Funny you say that.
That's Fish.
Funny you say that. When Fish played a 3-night stand in Noblesville, Indiana, police seized large quantity of mushrooms, methamphetamine, LSD, heroin, fentanyl, MDMA, marijuana, and nitrous oxide. The district attorney said they were disappointed that they found all these drugs at a Fish concert.
Don't go to a Fish concert then.
Mr. DA, what do you mean you're disappointed? Do you mean you expected? That should have been what you said. I kind of expected when we went in there, this is what we were going to get. Maybe you couldn't say that because they would say you're targeting them or something. But I just thought it was so funny.
All right. Go through the list just slowly for me, and I will tell you the part where, as the DA, I would be upset.
Okay. Mushrooms.
Nope.
Meth.
Yes.
LSD.
No.
Heroin.
Yes.
Fentanyl.
Yes.
MDMA.
No.
Marijuana.
No.
Nitrous oxide.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, listen, half the stuff you shouldn't have brought. The other half I would fully expect at a Fish concert.
That's right. They said on their Facebook page, we're really disappointed in the number of people who showed up to engage in illicit behavior. You're disappointed? Come on. I guess you are disappointed. I get it. But you can't be surprised at all. It's just funny. It jumped out at me. Thought it would be good for a laugh this morning that they were disappointed that they found drugs at a Fish concert.
Yeah.
And
we found Molly and ecstasy. Not a surprise.
That's right.
We found marijuana. Not a big deal. Found mushrooms, psychedelics. Okay. Yeah. Heroin. All right, too far.
Yeah, there are bridges.
Methamphetamine. Too far.
Yeah, it's too far. Look, I ain't doing any of them. I'm not doing any of them. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
Why are you winking?
Tuned in to the morning show and said, give me the truth today. She poured her coffee, grabbed her phone, whispered, Lord, light up the way. They could hear the leftist talking. He said, this is my daily fight. If they take me to the office, they won't take my common sense alive.
They'll try to kill your common sense. They'll try to tell you not to believe your eyes. I'm going to tell you something that will disappoint you, sadly. It will disappoint you. Because you expect better, you hope better, but you don't always get better. And in this case, it is about Hamas. You know what happened on 10/7? That was the reason that that the Israelis have been fighting so hard with the crazy Hamas leaders and Hamas terrorists in Gaza. And they went into a music festival. They killed and raped and maimed. When I hear about stories like this, it's awful, and it hurts my heart. It does. And then I read this, and it makes it even worse, that almost half of Muslim Americans have a favorable view of Hamas. This is reported by the New York Post. So if there's 5 million, I think the number's 5 million. 5 million Muslims in America. That means about 2.5 million people support the terrorist group of Hamas. And they believe that Israel should have been attacked on 10/7. They believe that Israel doesn't have the right to exist. There are 2.5 million people in this country right now that believe that craziness.
Well, that's 2.5 million too much, because if you were to consider the European Union, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Japan, New Zealand, and the United States all consider Hamas a terrorist organization.
Of course.
It's not just us. It's not just Israel.
Yes. But when you see an attack like that happened on October 7th, I don't know how anybody, let's say even, I don't know how you would, I don't know how to phrase this. I'm just, when you see something so violent and so vile happen, even if it's your side, you have to be like, that's not right. How can you not point out that murder and death and rape and destruction is not right, and you have 2.5 million people that have been invited to your country to live among you that says, nah, it's just fine.
The reason why I say 2.5 million too much, and I have a simple answer for it, go home. The reason why I have that is because I know that these people will never share my values.
Ever. No, because there's no starting line. There's no place to overlap.
For instance, when we had 9/11, and then this country started operating CIA black sites around the world in the interest of terrorist interrogations to get as much information as possible to stop the next wave of terrorist attacks. All right. We all kind of just turned the other way. Just like, all right, we've authorized torture. Remember the whole waterboarding discussion?
Yeah, of course.
I was like, go for it. But eventually the American people, when they saw some of what was going on in Iraq, said, okay, too far. Abu Ghraib
that's
prison,
great.
that
Yes.
was too far. Because our, now not mine, because I'm a terrible person, but our standards by which that we say, okay, that's inhumane, that kicks in, and now we change as Americans. So we were able to kind of suppress that for a while, and then it was in your face, and here's what happens. That's not half of these people that saw what Hamas did and said, that's too far, that's awful. Half were okay with it.
They just gave a big thumbs up. Let's do it. That is the saddest news on a rainy Wednesday.
And by the way,
that's the saddest news.
I'm not talking about, hey, we waterboarded people.
Which is more psychological than anything.
It's like, oh, hey, we made them, we put them around dogs while they were naked because they fear dogs.
Or we played Metallica music real loud for hours and hours and hours.
What happened on October 7th was an atrocity. Yes, and yet half said no problem there.
Pew Research Center. So it's not like a fly-by-night organization. A polling organization has been around for years and tends to lean left. So it makes me think that the number's probably even larger. And then when you see the protests that happen in places like Dearborn, Michigan, and you're going, what have we done to our country? We've invited this.
Yes.
We've invited this.
And we've asked it not to change.
That's right, yeah. There's no sense in assimilation. No, you don't need to assimilate.
You can go ahead and bring your values right over here, and you don't have to assimilate to a Judeo-Christian society. You know, part of, and this is the founding of the country, and this is the only way things continue to work. The country was founded, when I talk about Judeo-Christian ethics, what I'm really talking about is you have a moral people, a moral society. If you have a moral people, they will eventually find the right way. I've talked about how American people will put up with bad government. We won't put up with faulty, corrupt government because it goes against our moral standards. We're like, listen, you can be dumb. I just don't want you to be a fraud. I don't want you to be a criminal. Well, if you don't have the same moral standing in this country that slaughtering people is wrong, well, then how can you ever really be part of this country? And how can we ever move forward as a country in the best interest of the United States if you don't share the moral value that slaughtering people is wrong?
And if you recall, immigration originally, there was some things that you had to do or believe or say that at least went in line. You were going to be a contributor to American society. And they've torn that away, man. Just to your point, they've taken that and just wadded it up and thrown it away, which was insane to do.
The numbers that are still, and when I tell you, when I've now been to Minneapolis 3 times in the past 3 years, and it keeps getting weirder and weirder every time. Went twice this year.
I'm sure.
And to see and to know that statistically 83% of the Somalians who have come over here are all on public assistance. They're on welfare. Now, I'd like to see those other 17% and say, hey, what are they not doing that you are?
I know.
Because if you want to be part of this experiment, this American dream, well, clearly this 17% is already experiencing it. What are the 83% doing? Just stealing from taxpayers, which, how do we look at it in a moral society? Theft? Wrong.
Not them, though.
In your society? Not wrong. Not a big deal.
They said it was no big deal. They even had a leader up there that's in the Somali community. He's like, yeah, but that's kind of what we do back in Somalia. I mean, you know, it's if someone is, I think if I'm not mistaken, he was back. If you set up a scenario where we can steal from you, we feel okay doing it.
The degradation of society, American society, will not come at the hands and the minds of American people. It's going to come from the importing of people that do not share your values, and once they reach critical mass, they will change the values of certain areas. I mean, we've already seen this happen with the Democrat Party. I'll give you no better example than the fact that Josh Shapiro was probably the best option and the scariest option for me to run with Kamala Harris. And they wouldn't pick him because he was Jewish, and they feared about would Michigan voters turn on that.
She said it. She told you that was it.
There was another person here locally who was talking about, listen, we're gearing up for a John Ossoff run. I was like, oh, hold on a second. You might forget that he's Jewish. Zero chance.
Although
you've changed your own body politic way of thinking.
What did we have last week? We had the guy that was on CNN that said
he didn't portray as Jewish.
He was like, we might get away with it on CNN. We might get away with it because he doesn't portray himself as Jewish.
He was comfortable enough, this Democrat analyst on CNN, to say, you He doesn't portray. Basically, he doesn't look Jewish, so we'll be all right.
Dude, think about how insane that is.
Think about where you have to go to within your political party that the first thing you think of in terms of you have a popular governor in Pennsylvania and you say, well, he's Jewish, we can't possibly run him. And then the next thing, which, because it goes right back to some of the stuff that we're seeing that's coming in from around the world. When people say Mayor Pete, I always tell you, Mayor Pete has no chance because he's a gay man.
Yep.
Now, that's partly,
told you to.
That's part Black America, but that's also, listen, the Muslim community ain't going there.
You know,
it ain't happening.
No, definitely not. Have you not heard about the cruise ship?
Have you not heard? Were you not aware?
Rejected in Turkey and Egypt.
You pull into Turkey and Egypt, and they're like, stay at sea.
Did you see the quote from one of the organizers of that cruise, Los, where he said the reason that happened in Turkey? Donald Trump. He said it was Trump's fault. I love it, man. It's impossible to wrap your head around trying to the mental gymnastics, to use an example, the mental gymnastics that you have to get through to say Turkey turned away an LGBTQ cruise is because Donald Trump. That's some mental gymnastics, dude. That is something you got to. I mean, can you imagine trying to make that connect?
And here's the weird part about what happens on the left. And I realize I'm coming down on you pretty hard, but it's 8 o'clock hour, and you might as well just take it right in the shorts. Everything that gets put forward in terms of white supremacy, all right, that's in theory for cable television. As I've talked about it quite a bit before, I don't know one white supremacist. And I certainly don't know of any organization that has any sort of political power that can influence anything in this country that is a white supremacist organization. On the left, it's not in theory. It's in practice.
Yeah. And they're not running from it. They don't hide from it. They say it on CNN.
They're like, well, he doesn't look that Jewish. We might be able to get away with this.
We could slide him by.
Might be able to get him by. I know Josh Shapiro. Listen to that name. There's no way.
Yes.
They'll know immediately.
Yeah, they'll sniff that out.
You can't possibly run a gay man for vice president. There's no way.
It's crazy.
Our people won't vote for him because of how we look at these things.
The loving, tolerant left. Or anything but.
And they point at us where it's all in theory. And theirs, it's in practice.
And have to pay to create it.
Have to pay to create it.
To fight it. I want to go back to, just quickly, from a Signal. Signal is another research center, kind of like Pew. Muslim Americans say, this is 2023, Muslim Americans say Hamas was justified in attacking Israel. Unreal. Unreal. And, when you think about the things that you hear coming out of places like Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan, and places like New York City now, where they say, yeah, we want to take over, we want to dismantle the American, air quote, empire. They're not hiding it. You just got to be aware of it. It saddens me, but that's what we've invited. That's what we're up against in our own country. I never thought these days, I never in a million years thought I would say this or have this conversation. It's crazy. When we come back, on Extra 106.3, 20 quotes. And Los will deliver those during story time on Extra.
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kemmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kemmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
All right, I'll say what you're thinking. Christmas in July? Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but neither does this. Because this isn't a clearance rack. It's our Solomon Brothers collection. Diamond essentials, tennis bracelets, earrings, everyday pieces done the right way. And for a limited time, all of it 31% off. So don't analyze it, don't wait, just come in. Solomon Brothers Christmas in July sale, 31% off everything.
Hey, it's a Kimmer here. How's it going? You know, you've invested years in your home, of course, maintaining it and improving it and protecting it. Raised a family there, built a lifetime of memories. Maybe your home has earned an upgrade. Well, I can recommend a place to go. Deal with them more than 20 years ago. Jeff Shea and Peach State Windows. For more than 50 years, Jeff has been helping Georgia homeowners improve the comfort, the beauty, and the value without losing the character of their homes. How about this deal right now? 8 double-hung vinyl replacement windows installed for only $39.95, improving energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal too. Listen to this. How about transform your entryway with a fiberglass French door installed for just $69.85. Both options include a lifetime warranty, 0% financing for 12 months. PeachStateWindows.com, 770-485-8011. Peach State Windows, because your home has earned an upgrade.
Your yard, it stresses you out between the watering, the seeding, the weeding, and mowing. And no matter what you do, you're never satisfied. Have you thought about artificial turf? It's low maintenance, pet friendly, and looks amazing all year round. ATL Turf Co. is Atlanta's top choice for artificial grass installation. Let them build you a custom golf or putting green, outdoor kitchen, or pool deck. They even specialize in custom concrete and stonework. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at atlturfco.com. That's atlturfco.com.
Step right up, America. Got equipment to sell or looking for something ready to work? PurpleWave.com. At Purple Wave Auction, it's as easy as it gets. Easy to sell, easy to buy. Construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve, all online. Register for free.
No reserve. Don't wait. Get swinging over to PurpleWave.com. PurpleWave.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
When you're looking for a luxury vehicle, make Jim Ellis Cadillac your first stop.
At Jim Ellis Cadillac, you'll find a premium selection of Cadillac models, including the iconic Escalade, the sophisticated XT5, the athletic CT5, and the all-electric Lyriq.
At Jim Ellis Cadillac, the experience is just as impressive as the vehicles. Our team is committed to providing exceptional customer service with a professional, no-pressure approach that makes shopping easy and enjoyable.
And the Jim Ellis Expressway makes shopping even more convenient. You can browse inventory, value your trade, explore payment options, and complete much of your purchase online, all from the comfort of home.
So whether you prefer to shop online or visit in person, Jim Ellis Cadillac's ready to help you find the Cadillac that fits your lifestyle. Visit JimEllisCadillac.com or stop by Jim Ellis Cadillac on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter. Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
Jim Ellis, expect the best.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Wednesday, July 15th, and here are your headlines. Supreme Court justices are asking Congress for nearly $15 million in additional security funding as threats against the Supreme Court continue to rise. Justice Amy Coney Barrett says she has had to explain to her children why she has to wear a bulletproof vest, while Justice Elena Kagan says threats against the justices have increased by nearly 40% just this year. Georgia health officials are warning residents about a rise of cases in cyclosporiasis, a parasite that spreads through contaminated food and water. The illness can cause severe diarrhea, cramping, and fatigue, with symptoms sometimes lasting for weeks. Officials are urging people to wash produce thoroughly and practice good hygiene. And finally, a new bipartisan housing law is taking aim at corporate home ownership in Atlanta. A measure backed by Senator Raphael Warnock limits private equity companies to owning 350 single-family homes, with companies exceeding that number facing steep fines. Supporters say the move is designed to improve housing affordability in the region, where large investors own more than 72,000 homes and 1 in 4 single-family rentals. It'll be another day of clouds and occasional rain showers. Today's high is 84 with a low of 72. Your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10. Thank you for being here. I don't know if you'll watch the ESPYs tonight, but they're on. And then there is another TV show, Apple's Lucky, Amazon's Ride or Die. There is one that's kind of got my attention a little bit. I think Steve-O from Jackass is involved in Nation's Dumbest. I think I could probably get down with that. I feel like
I'd be good at that.
Among my people.
Kind of looks funny.
It does kind of look funny. So there may be just maybe a possibility.
It's on Fox, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Nation's Dumbest. Anytime I can get just among my people, it's just a comfort. It's just a comfort thing, being there.
Hey, you got an A in Spanish. You're good.
I did. Yes, that's right. But that was I don't know 20 plus years ago.
You were doing fine earlier.
I was hablaing a little bit. But I just don't know, buddy. I don't know. Google Translate works well, though. This is the Morning Extra, 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. It is story time.
Settle in and get comfortable, folks. It's story time with Uncle Los.
Oh, thank you to sweet, clean Bryce, that sweet bird of youth.
Handsome devil.
He's got 2 on his shoulder today. And they're just pecking on his cheeks, being like, "You're so young. You're so wonderful."
He has to brush them off.
That's right. He has to be like, "Oh, these sweet birds of youth."
Get out of here.
Just petting them.
That's right. And then there's Tug, the man for all seasons.
Well,
ready for anything.
As best I can.
All the time. So I want to bring this up because this, typically story time is about history and a scenario. And I'll just reference that we had talked about Amy Coney Barrett and the issues that she was having with the violent rhetoric, the violence on the left, the threats to her family, and that's affected her to where she was at one time. Her opinions were siding with the more conservative end of the court at 81%. It's now at 50%. In fact, after the Dobbs leak, it went from 81% to 59%. It's now down to 50%. And so this is a woman, nothing against her in this matter. I get why she's doing it. This is a woman who, when it comes to birthright citizenship, basically handed over the country because of the fear of the left, in my opinion. Okay?
I don't think you're wrong, dude.
In my opinion.
I don't think you're wrong.
At the same time, we also had another shooting, an ICE-related shooting. By the way, there's been, and this is what's cited, there have been 11 shootings. 11 that have involved ICE agents. There's been 2 million people shipped out of here. It is a minuscule, tiny amount. But yet, the left will continue to push violence as a ways to get their revolution moving. And so I just want to give you some quotes, Tug, just to show you how important this is. In 1848, there was someone who said, "There's only one way in which the murderous death agonies of the old society and the bloody birth throes of the new society can be shortened, simplified, and concentrated. And that way is revolutionary terror."
What year was that again?
1848.
Yep.
That was Karl Marx. How
Love
about
that guy.
also Karl Marx? The communists openly declare that their ends can only be obtained by the forcible overthrow of all existing social conditions. Another example. How about let's move forward a little bit further into history? This person who said, quote, "Not a single problem of the class struggle has ever been solved in history except by violence. When violence is exercised by the working people, by the mass of exploited against the exploiters, then we are for it." Vladimir Lenin.
Ah, there we go. Boy, he's a swell fella.
Let me give you another one. "The revolutionary dictatorship of the proletariat is the rule won and maintained by the use of violence by the proletariat against the bourgeoisie. rule that is unrestricted by any laws. Vladimir Lenin. All right, so that's one area. We're going back to 1848 and Karl Marx, basically the birth of communism, but then moved forward, pushed forward by the Russian Revolution, and it dominated that part of the world for that time being. Let's move over to a different part of the world. How about this one? Quote, a revolution is not a dinner party or writing an essay or painting a picture or doing embroidery. It cannot be so refined, so leisurely and gentle, so temperate, kind, courteous, restrained, and magnanimous. A revolution is an insurrection, an act of violence by which one class overthrows another.
I feel like there's a word that keeps being used in each one of those quotes, Los, and I don't know.
Does it start with a V?
Maybe.
Does it end in a lens?
Yes, that's it. I keep hearing it keeps popping up.
By the way, that was 1927, Mao Zedong.
Oh, boy, he's another swell fellow.
How about another one from Mao Zedong? Quote, political power grows out of the barrel of a gun. How about another one from Mao Zedong? The seizure of power by armed force, the settlement of the issue by war, is the central task and the highest form of revolution. These go on over and over and over. And it's every single one of like the fathers of communism, the people that continued to push communism, that did it all around the world, and it all runs around the same thing. Violence is the key. Violence is what is needed. Violence is the ends to the means. And so when Amy Coney Barrett is giving her testimony and she's talking about what threats are against her and why and she's not explaining it, but it's explainable, how does she go from an 81% conservative vote to 50%?
Violence.
The threat of violence. How about Vladimir Lenin again? Quote, no mercy for these enemies of the people, the enemies of socialism, the enemies of the working people. War to the death against the rich and the hangers-on.
And these are all quotes from people who were probably already wealthy, that lived a very different lifestyle, which you've done story times on that too, right, Los? Just the fact that it's always the people that have the most, that are able to convince people that this is the right way of going. Using this violence is the right way of going.
How about this person? Quote, strikes, boycott, parliamentarianism are all good forms, but not one of these means is capable of abolishing existing inequality. The principal and decisive means is the socialist revolution. That's Joseph Stalin telling you, you will not do this in Parliament. You will not do this in Congress.
Yep.
This is at the barrel of a gun. This is with violence. And so when we point out whether it's trans violence or Antifa violence or it's all violence in the interest of the statist, the communist, the socialist movement. But it's not new. And when we call them violent, and then they point out, what do you mean we're violent? You've always been violent.
And everybody that you worship, everybody that you talk about in such loving terms, were too. It's all a big family.
Leon Trotsky, quote, the dictatorship of the Communist Party is maintained by recourse to every form of violence.
And you wonder why you're seeing America in the shape that it's in, with Antifa, burning down churches and throwing firebombs and setting up autonomous zones. And, because, it's easy to point out, wait, you don't want any borders, but you've got a border for your autonomous zone? Like, none of it's always easy to pick apart. But you wonder why the violence comes out and rears its head the way it does. And Los is telling you, the people that they idolize preach it. They preach it. It's what they believe. It's what they will do, and they will continue to do here in the United States.
This is over with as far as with these men existed. It's over 150 years.
And nothing has changed. Wow.
Nothing has changed. How about this person? A revolution is not a trail of roses. A revolution is a fight to the death between the future and the past. Now, that's Fidel Castro.
Oh, I was going to guess Che Guevara, but okay. I wasn't that far off.
But what do you always hear from these people, including Kamala Harris? We must be unburdened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all the buzzwords.
It's all the buzzwords.
Lends itself right back to the talking point.
It's always the same.
Or the quote.
It never
the belief
changes. It has never changed. Quote, warfare is a means, not an end. Warfare is a tool of revolutionaries. The important thing is the revolution. Now, that was a speech at the memorial service of Che Guevara by Fidel Castro.
Well, look at there.
There you go.
He got his name mentioned.
There's story time. We were able to fit them all in, weren't we?
Yeah. Are you surprised at story time? If you are, then you ain't been paying attention. Just keep up. Just listen. And especially to those like Mamdani, look at what they do. And sometimes they'll even do something as simple as leaving Italians off the map and Jewish people off the map that he created for the World Cup so people knew where to go throughout the city. That was with intent. Just know that's the way they operate.
As I have said before in the previous hour, and I've said plenty of times, the less political power they have, the more violent they get. The reason why Mamdani will fail, I mean, first off, the economics, you'll run out of money.
Yeah, we run out of other people's money.
But there is an American intolerance for violence, for political violence. It's deplorable to all of us.
Enough to that got Trump elected.
And so we're in a situation now where the only way you can actually have any sort of communist area is you're trying to create it, but you don't have the means to use. Communists have to use violence to keep you trapped. So when we now have, and we had the news over in the last 24 hours, you have $11 billion in tax revenue that has left the state of New York, the city of NYC, between the two. $11 billion of millionaires have left. And the problem is, and if it was old school, if this was East Germany,
they'd build a wall, keep you in.
And they got guns to make sure you don't go anywhere.
That's right.
But you can't do that. Is why ultimately Mamdani will fail. The rest of these people will fail. The money leaves. And so they can do all the one. Hey, we're gonna tax you on the way out.
Yeah.
But they can't shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way communism works is at the barrel of a gun.
What do we always say, Los? This is a famous quote that goes right along with those. You voted in.
Got to shoot your way out.
Got to shoot your way out. Don't allow it to happen in the United States. Do not allow this evil, this scourge. And look, there's not many things I call evil. I've told you many times. I try not to use the word evil often. Because where do you go from there? There's nothing worse than evil, right? Is there anything worse than evil? Communism is evil. Just listen to the quotes that Los gave you. If you missed any of it, go back and listen to the Extra 106.3 app or on the YouTube channel. It'll be there. It's always great to have story time. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Chamath Palihapitiya is a billionaire. And he says, don't listen to what they say about Donald Trump. It took him learning a hard lesson, but now he doesn't want you to have to learn the same lesson. Next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, July 15th. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game from Philadelphia ended with the American League beating the National League 4-0 last night as the American League pitching struck out 15 in the game. The league is now off until Thursday. As for the Braves, they will resume second half action on Friday. From the World Cup, a massive matchup right here in Atlanta today as England and Argentina will battle for the right to play in Sunday's final. Spain is already there and awaiting Sunday's matchup. The game in Atlanta kicks off today at 3 o'clock. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
I'm so sick of all these cheesy lawyer billboards. You might be too. If you're injured in a car crash, you don't hire a lawyer because they're sweet or strong or the biggest. You hire a lawyer who's recognized by their peers as one of the top lawyers in the state. You hire a lawyer who's going to listen to you, fight for you, and has the case results to prove it. That lawyer is me, Bruce Hagan, the people's lawyer. I've been proudly selected by my fellow lawyers as one of the top 100 lawyers in the state, and for 21 consecutive years as Georgia's super lawyer. Hagan-law.com, Hagan-law.com.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Mark O'Brien, President and CEO of Lake Point Sports, the premier travel and youth sports destination.
So imagine this, 30,000 people on campus, you lose power. So being in the trenches with a group like Georgia Power, and you have someone to call, those are things that we have to navigate in real time, and sometimes it happens out of nowhere, and it can be a lightning strike that just happens, Mother Nature. So we're very fortunate. Georgia Power has a number of programs and offerings and services, but I think it's the one-call touch that really, we look for partnerships like that, and we want to be relational and not transactional, particularly on something so important as this. Yeah.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit GeorgiaPower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
You know what you get back when you call the Trusted Toolbox? You get your time back, you get your family back, and you get your house back. No more spending weekends fixing loose doors, drywall cracks, or that list that never ends. With our handyman for a day, one skilled professional shows up, knocks out multiple repairs in one visit. Everything from drywall to ceiling fans changed out, painting, trim work, and so much more. Stop working on your house every weekend. Call the Trusted Toolbox, get your time back, and get it done right the first time. Book your appointment today at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Hey, this is Los with Terry from Alpharetta, who just purchased a new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent, honest way to buy your next vehicle. Terry, tell us about your experience.
I have a son serving in the military. He's active duty with limited time to look for a car. My son was looking for a used Hyundai Veloster, and I had heard about the Honest Car Guy on the radio, decided that might be a route to go, and we made a phone call over the weekend. He screen shared the information with us. We looked over the vehicle, and he took the reins from there, and they were able to walk us through the process of buying the car. We're very clear and transparent, and next thing we knew, we had a car in the driveway.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Have you downloaded your mobile driver's license yet? If no, why not? The Georgia Digital Driver's License and ID is available in your Apple, Google, and Samsung wallet. It's free, secure, and easy to use. Download it today to skip the line when you visit a DDS center. To learn more about Georgia's digital license and ID, visit dds.georgia.gov. That's dds.georgia.gov. Sponsored by the Georgia Department of Driver Services.
Tomorrow at 9 p.m., hear President Donald Trump live from the White House as he addresses some of the biggest issues facing the nation today in a major primetime speech. Xtra 106.3 is the only station in town airing President Trump's address live and in its entirety. Don't miss a single word. Tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Xtra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Tug and Los until 10 here on Xtra 106.3. Chamath Palihapitiya is a host of the All In podcast. David Sachs is on there. There's several other billionaire investors. Guy's so fascinating to me. I like to read his stuff. I think he's a really, really smart guy. He's the CEO of 80/90 and Social Capital. But, he takes business ideas, develops them, and makes a boatload of cash, and good for him. That's the American dream, man. He's a guy, though, that for a long time bought hook, line, and sinker, like many people do, what the media says about Donald Trump. He is a guy that had to come out and say, you know what, I was completely wrong. I was misled, and I will no longer sit back and let other people be misled. He says he realized it a while back. It was when the good people on both sides hoax up in Charlottesville, the one that the media ran with.
The one that Joe Biden had to run with because he had to run.
Yeah, that's the reason he jumped in. All this white supremacy, God, taking off the world, Joe Biden saying. And Chamath bought it in. I mean, he bought it, completely bought it. And then one day, he listened to the entire piece of audio, the entire statement by Donald Trump, and he was like, well, wait a minute. That's not at all what was said. I've been misled. And he considers himself a smart guy, and he is.
So I find this to be, especially when it comes to the business guys, it seems like they've been the ones to turn the quickest.
First. Yes, you're right.
Because they're very analytical, not caught up in their feelings. It's just about the dollars. It's just about what's the information. Tell me about the product. And I believe that's the reason why you've seen so many of them be the first to turn around. Elon Musk, the rest of them are like, here's what the data tells me. When you realize that so many of the criticisms of Donald Trump, and I'm not saying Donald Trump is some great man.
By any means.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude has his faults. Dude has his issues. But no matter which one you go with, like, he was buddies with Epstein. He went to Epstein Island. You mean he was the first informant for the FBI against Epstein? Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
You know he raped a woman? Well, they found him to have an issue with sexual assault, but she couldn't name the year or the date or anything. How can you defend yourself?
What about all the felonies? Wasn't it 34? What about Jack Smith? He dug it all up.
For a clerical error?
Yeah.
They all fall apart. And so it's the same thing that you find. And again, I'm not saying that this man is clean as wind-driven snow. What I'm saying is if you want to, let's say, have sex with a porn star and then sign her to an NDA, okay. Is it ideal? No.
Yeah, but is it what I want to do? No.
But does it make you suddenly some sort of international terrorist? No,
it doesn't.
But if you want to build stuff, notice that they don't bring up Stormy Daniels.
No, they don't.
They don't do that stuff. Like, use ones that actually do matter.
Listen to Chamath on this exact topic.
The reality is that most of us were lied to by the media about President Trump. And if you just go back to the source material, you should take away two things. One, he didn't say half the things he said. And two, why did these other people just fabricate what they wanted to say so that they could essentially assassinate his character? I think that second thing is completely unacceptable in America. And there's still been no repercussions, really. I took the time to learn about it. I admitted where, the way that I met him was I admitted on the pod, which, has millions of viewers. And I said, I got it totally wrong. Because I went and I watched Charlottesville. And the first person to call me?
Who was it?
President Trump. And I got to know him. And I put the phone down. I called my wife and I said, we got it totally, totally wrong. We were lied to. And then I got to know him, and he is fantastic.
Is he perfect? He never said perfect. Is he a good dude? Yeah, I think he is. Does he love America? Yes, I think he does. Does he want to defend this nation? Yes. The answer is yes. You can disagree with him about how he goes about his business. I'm fine with that. You can have disagreements about... Los and I talk about the spending. He spends like a Democrat. Because he was. There are things that I disagree with Donald Trump on. But Chamath Palihapitiya is exactly right. All the crap that you've heard and all the charges that have fallen away and the wheels came off the bus, they've all been hoaxes. And some of them still resonate with people. There are people, specifically Democrats, specifically leftists, that will say, well, what about? And none of them are right.
I just want to make sure I have this completely straight. So the man lived his first 75 years, and he was a criminal mastermind, but was never caught.
He was so good.
He never had anything.
That's exactly right, dude.
In fact, one of the ways that he was hit in New York was that he had overestimated his worth because a judge and a prosecutor determined that Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million.
Hang on, say that number again. That doesn't sound right. Is somewhere in Palm Beach?
$18 million, if I got the number correct.
That doesn't sound right.
Probably closer to 180 million. But that was how they used that to prosecute him in a case, by the way, because let's just rehash this. In a case in which banks that he had secured loans from were paid back in full with interest, and they didn't have an interest in prosecuting him. Yet Letitia James, it's like, we got to go after this guy because he secured funding in an illegal fashion. And then what happened to Letitia James? It turns out she's been buying secondary properties, but using primary loan sourcing.
Yeah, right, yeah. So doing what she was accusing him of doing, essentially. This is why people voted for him, dude. This is why so many people voted for him. This is why he won all the swing states. This is why he won the Electoral College. This is why he won the popular vote.
Well, it's what they did. That's awesome.
But yeah, that's why. Because people were like, okay, wait a minute. You're saying he's done all these things, and yet every time they fall apart, they gave him a mug shot. I think people were like, if the mainstream media tells me this, it's got to be something different. And all they did was push voters toward Donald Trump. That's all they did.
I had the number right, 18 million.
Yeah.
Whereas...
Which doesn't sound right because it's 180.
I mean, it could be worth significantly higher. And you use that as collateral for this loan. But that's when you dig a little bit, just as this man, Chalmers, was able to do, and you go, huh, it's pretty flimsy.
All you have to do is pay attention. All you have to do is pay attention just a little bit. And he even admitted it. And he's a really smart man. He was like, all I had to do was pay attention, and then I realized it immediately.
The other one that's funny is, do you know that Donald Trump has declared bankruptcy? Like, yeah.
You know how many times Ted Turner did that?
You know what it is? It's a tax game.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like when you go bankrupt and there's nothing in your account.
That's right.
You're playing a tax game.
That's right. How can I win this? It's absolutely insane, dude. Good for Chamath Palihapitiya, though. And it's crazy that we still, to this day, have to defend Donald Trump. And I don't even want to do it.
With Charlottesville is the one that's the most silly because it's been debunked for the longest amount of time.
So many times. And yet they still continue.
And all you have to do is listen to the whole clip and you're like, oh, that's not what I was told.
When we come back, we rooted for all-time rent prices. That's what you're rooting for next on Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Read some more articles today about housing affordability. Regardless of what the left says, I do think most Americans would like to own their own home, but they're getting expensive, super expensive. The price is increasing way faster than inflation, and why? Oh, because people in regulatory agencies and government want to feel powerful, so let's have some rules and regulations. I happen to have a real comprehensive list here. I don't have time, about a minute left, to give you some of the ideas of why homes are so expensive, but listen up. We'll start with the biggest culprit, zoning regulations. In many cities, no duplexes, no triplexes, no fourplexes. You can't have a mother-in-law mini home in the backyard. Small lot sizes, no way. Townhomes, not in our neighborhood. So builders have to go for larger, more expensive homes. Many communities have requirements on lot sizes, 7,500, 10,000 square feet, half acre, 1 acre. Watch the price of that home go up. Setback requirements, that increases the cost of land. Is it 30 feet where you live? Side yards, 10 feet, backyards, 25 feet. Why? And then we have government pencil necks that come up with new building code requirements. You gotta have energy-efficient appliances, more electrical outlets, ground fault protection, wider stairways for the lardasses, larger bathrooms, and the permit fees. Let's see, building permit, sewer connection fee, water tap fee, school impact fee, park impact fee, transportation fee, environmental fees. And in Collier County, where I live, you want to build a house next year, you better get the building permit this year. That's how long it'll take for that to be completed. And then there's design review boards, the pitch of your roof, exterior colors, window styles, what percentage of your outside walls can be brick, where can you put your garage. It all costs money, and I'm running over time. Door widths, hallway widths, bathroom layouts, elevator requirements. Okay, I hope you have some sort of an idea about why homes are so expensive right now. It's one big 3-syllable word. Government. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Communism destroys everything, no matter where it's been tried. And Ossoff is now part of that Democrat Party where it's a civil war, and they've cast their lot with tear it all down.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
After a night of bombing, Iran gets hit in the daytime. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A fifth straight day of American attacks.
At 6 a.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. in Tehran, U.S. Central Command resumed airstrikes on Iran. The goal once again to make it harder for Iranian forces to attack commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran, though, is threatening to expand the conflict. The Revolutionary Guard warning regional energy exports are either shared by all or denied to all. A hint they're ready to target Gulf Arab interests.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Trump tells Fox after a Navy blockade went back into effect around Iran's ports, unless they return to nuclear negotiations.
Next week it gets really bad for them because next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges.
The president posted this morning on Truth Social that ICE is doing a great job and we can't give up one of its most important and effective crime-fighting tools, the traffic stop. Writing it'll play right into the criminals' hands. This after ICE put a hold on most stops following deadly shootings in Maine and Texas. Border czar Tom Homan tells Fox.
We'll let this play out where it is, but I think ICE is going to continue doing record arrests, record removals, and this is, I wouldn't even call it bumping the road. I mean, this is going to be a short-term review.
In both shootings, Homeland Security says the drivers killed used the vehicle as a weapon. Neither were the target of the immigration enforcement being conducted. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is about to face tough questions at a Senate confirmation hearing starting now. His time as a Trump personal lawyer will be under scrutiny, and Fox's David Spunt reports.
Blanche's critics in the Senate, and there are plenty, will most likely bring up the Jeffrey Epstein files and the mistakes made with how the department handled the release of those files. Blanche himself has admitted there were mistakes when it came to redactions and potential victim identity releases.
There's also a confirmation hearing this hour for Director of National Intelligence nominee Jay Clayton. We may no longer need to change the clocks twice a year. The House passed a bill to make daylight saving time permanent. The Senate considers it next. America's listening to Fox News.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when pain is a part of everyday life. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation, which is one of the most common causes of ongoing aches and pains from aging, overexertion, or just daily living. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula, no prescription, no masking of symptoms, just real relief so you can keep moving forward. My pain almost stopped me. My hands were so bad I couldn't even button my own shirt. I couldn't paint. I couldn't write. And Tanya was the one who told me, I'm not listening to you whine anymore unless you try everything. Try Relief Factor. I did. It helped me get my life back. As America celebrates her 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. To commemorate, Relief Factor is offering a special patriotic price at $17.76, so you can pursue your happiness being pain-free. $17.76, 3-week quick starts ready for you right now. Relief Factor, because freedom just feels better without pain. Visit ReliefFactor.com. ReliefFactor.com. 800-4-RELIEF.
The Morning Extra, every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
Lordy, this show has gone by so fast. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Grateful that you're here. And just love to say thank you. This little show and this little station has taken off and continues to grow, and we're quite proud of it. But it's you that is, the engine behind it.
If the polls are correct, we look like we're set up to win mornings come November.
It's unreal, really.
If the polls are correct,
to be in a situation like this. I never expected to be. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about Kenny Chesney albums and things, and then Los was over there breaking down, salary caps
and Country Girls Shake It.
That's right. Absolutely. Once in a while, that would pop out too, and then they put us in here, and the rest is history, I suppose. But it's been incredible, and I do want to win mornings. I've never really. So when the ACM thing came up, I was like, that's cool. I know I'm not going to win, and I didn't. I said, as soon as I saw everybody nominated, I said, Chattanooga will win that. They always do.
That is for the Academy of Country Music.
Right. Yep.
Tug was nationally honored.
Crazy.
With the nomination.
But I knew I wasn't going to win. I knew it. I feel like we can win mornings. Like, I feel like the wind is in our sails.
Looking good so far.
Today, I would like to see, because Clay Travis will be here at Extra 106.3 doing the show at the ballpark. I assume he's probably going to try to get down to the World Cup game.
Cup match?
It has to be, right?
That probably makes the most sense. Yeah, because normally he'll travel at least at some point during the summer, during the spring, and bring the family down, because they're huge Braves fans. And so they'll stay on campus and they'll take in some games. And so I have to imagine that at the very least it is a Fox Sports product. At the very least, he and maybe some of his family will get a chance to take in that match.
Yeah, I would like to think that is it. But the reason I bring him up, and the fact that he's going to be doing the biggest show in all of conservative media, nationally syndicated, here from the Extra 106.3 studios, is I would love to get him, if he has the time or is willing to do it, to see if he would endorse us for mornings.
That'd be quality.
I mean, we've had so many endorsements.
We have to put our signs out too, by the way.
Rick Jackson, what's that?
We got to put our signs out.
Yeah, well, there's I've been, dude,
there's a couple here, but we need to have a couple around in here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, definitely. I thought you meant out in town, because I've been seeing them pop up out in town a bunch of places.
Yeah, that's funny. Right now, there's a handful in my garage, but I'm waiting, because once we got through the primaries and then the follow-up, the primary runoff, a lot of people then took down the signs. There was a couple Rick Jackson signs that are still around our area, but even people that are still, like Greg Dolezal. Mm-hmm. Greg Dolezal is running in November, yet his signs have kind of disappeared from my area.
Wow.
I'm hoping the next round comes out here pretty soon.
And we can put ours up there, too.
And mine have it stayed up in the front yard.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Perfect.
It's perfect.
I think my wife would be a little bit perturbed with me if I was to put a Tug and Los sign in the front yard.
Might be the reason to do it. I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking, would that be kind of funny if,
in front of your own house?
Just in front of my own house.
But if maybe I'd put one in front of my house too. It'd be crazy for us not to.
I mean, if we can't win at home,
where can you win?
Where can we win?
Someone sent Tug a picture of a sign in someone's yard. It was my house.
Yeah, it's the truth. I got an email, and they're like, dude, you won't believe it. I was driving through this neighborhood, and they stopped and took a picture of the sign. And Bryce, when I showed him, I was like,
those trash cans.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Bryce, check this out. You won't believe it. And he was like, oh, yes, I would.
If I put that out in my wife's flower bed,
it'd be great.
Man. She won't notice it for at least a few days.
Take a minute for
Because she drives up and you got your brain kind of on autopilot, just pulling into the house.
Yeah,
she won't notice for a while, and then neighbors will be like, "I didn't know they were. Wow, they got signs too."
Yes, and endorsements.
Yes, we do.
But guys like Rick Jackson, who's likely to be the next governor of the state of Georgia,
he's leading in all the polling. We got it. We got endorsements from the right people.
Clay Travis. Biggest syndicated show in all of conservative media.
He'll be next.
He'll be next.
I'm gonna put up the sign somewhere during the break in a prominent area so that he cannot miss it. And not that they'll bring it up during. Yeah, that would be kind of funny.
He usually
stuck it right up in front,
right here, dude. I think that's the way to go, man. I think it's right where if he can't miss it, because he usually sits right here when he's done the show here in the past. Just pop it up right there.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
right up in front, right in the eye line.
I'm sorry?
Is he on camera?
I don't know.
I don't think that they do our camera setup. I know when they do their show, they have their camera set up, but I don't believe they use ours when it's on location.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer. But regardless, it'll be funny to see how he responds.
Playing Buck this afternoon, and shout out to the Morning Extra.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, he always says, "Hey, I'm here in Atlanta, Extra 106.3." You know, he usually says where he is. Now, if he works in the additional,
he's got to get
working to get the Morning Extra across the finish line, winning mornings, then that would be added bonus, and I would appreciate it. Maybe doing good work in the community will help him to feel the urge to talk about our run for mornings. And this is the good work that I'm talking about. Our sister station here at Dickey Broadcasting, 680 The Fan, been doing it for years. Camp Twin Lakes, providing medically supportive, life-changing camp experiences for thousands of Georgia children facing serious illnesses, disabilities, and other life challenges. Tomorrow, 13th annual Radiothon presented by Taco Mac benefiting Camp Twin Lakes, 10,000 children a summer. That's the number, 10,000. The joys of childhood grow in their confidence and capabilities. Go to 680thefan.com/camp. Check out the incentive items that you can bid on. That money will be in turn used down at Camp Twin Lakes. It's tomorrow on our sister station, The Fan, 680 93.7 FM.
Man, just to look at, by the way, the number of camps that are going through there
it's a big
just
number,
next week.
Yeah, it's a big number.
I mean, the medical facilities and everything else it takes. And I know when we get to, and I believe the number changes every year, but I know at one point for every $80 that was raised, that was because they figure it all out. That meant a camper. And so it was really about how many kids can we put into that camp so that they have that experience. And so it is one of the really proud moments at Dickey Broadcasting that we've had for, as you said, the 13 years that we've been involved in this.
There you go. So be a part tomorrow on our sister station, The Fan, 680 93.7 FM. And on the Fan app, it's your home of the Braves. So we know that a lot of people listen to this station, listen to the Morning Extra, and then go back and forth between us and the Fan. And look, if you're going to change stations ever, that's where we want you to go. And they're doing good work over there, and we just want to support them in every way that we possibly can. Extra 106.3. Let's get to the first thing to know this morning.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high, man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
That's my kind of man.
Yeah, apparently is. Thank you, Elizabeth Warren. That Graham Plattner, no longer part of this, but yes, you
but it tells you where she stood.
But speaking of that kind of man, your kind of man, when we had Mom Donnie running for the mayor of New York City, Tug and I would just say, all right, let's just see how it's going to play out. And it was simple economics. You will run out of money trying to pay for other people's stuff. And so then as he's elected and they're waiting for the transition team, we start to hear about the things that won't be available. No, there will not be free buses.
But wait, you ran on. That's what you ran on.
Child care will not be subsidized.
You ran on that.
One after another of what you were running on these city services. We were told that it was going to be a home for trans people to come and have publicly funded surgeries. Well, if that's not like some Frankenstein butcher sort of stuff, that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, it is.
But what did he do? He needed to take an $8 billion bailout from the state in order to balance the city budget, which as he does that, it was like, well, let's clean up some parks. All right, good. Glad you cleaned up some parks.
News. Yep.
But at the same time, you also then suspended payments into the pension funds for city workers. So as you were stealing money from the state and as you were freezing money to the city, you were then funding the things you were funding. Also, that included taking 40% of the rental properties in the city of New York and freezing the rent. They had a birthday cake. Actually, it was the rent freeze day. And what has happened? Well, $11 billion in tax revenue has already left the city. We talked about the amount of millionaires that have gotten out. They're done. It's like,
why would you stay?
Zoran Mondani, we'll see you later.
Yeah,
here's the fingers piece. But now the numbers are out and it's official. New York City now has the highest rent of all time.
How could that be so? He's freezing the rent, Lowe's.
Because the other 60% of properties in which case they were trying to cap. They were basically what they were doing is we are going to soak property owners on their taxes. So what did property owners do? In the way that they all do, in the way that happens when you tax any company. It gets passed along to the consumer. Neil Bortz has been on this for the better part of 20, 30 years. Neil will tell you that when you raise the tax rate on a corporation, he's like, corporations don't pay taxes. You do. That money gets passed down to you. Yeah. It's the same thing that's happened in New York. Now, if you just want to talk about New York City proper, the rent, 1 month of rent, on average right now when it comes to these rent numbers, is $5,300. When it comes to Brooklyn,
Lord.
And now Brooklyn is for years, Brooklyn is where you went where I'm trying to be in the boroughs, but I don't want to live in New Jersey. I'm going to live out in Brooklyn. It's more affordable. It's $4,500. $4,500
you're
to
just
rent.
getting a closet for a room.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything nice.
And hearing it like in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, that would be
it's $1 million home.
Yeah.
At least. If you push out into the suburbs, you're now pushing into like the $1 million home range.
Yeah.
Not the shoebox in Brooklyn.
The closet that Bryce is talking about. That's exactly right. Now, I don't know if you saw Mom Donnie the other day. This is, I think, on the 9th. He said socialists not only understand economics as well as capitalism, but they can solve years of mismanagement through our embrace of our principles. I'm not sure he understands, or does he completely understand? And there's an ulterior motive. How do we erode? How do we reduce? How do we make it hard? And that way people have to rely on the government, which is what socialism is, right? Turn to Papa Government. We'll take care of everything for you.
Okay, how about this number? So if you want to rent an apartment, this is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Now, this is a nice apartment. You got a view of the Hudson River. This thing is $84.59 a month.
Good heavens.
Tug, the square footage, 1,126 feet.
Hold up. Give me the price again.
$84.59, nearly $8,500 a month.
It's for 1,100 square foot?
1,100 square foot apartment.
Good Lord.
And you can keep going through all of this. How about if you wanted to push out into the Bronx? Again, now we're not talking about, hey, I'm in the heart of the city. I was like, yeah, you're still in, but this is what it's going to cost you. If you want a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, there's 2 available units right now. It's $36.15. And this is through, and I'm using Zillow for this, so anybody who wants to look into this and be like, oh, what would that cost me to have this sort of place in New York? You can keep moving through here, and you will see some of the most insane prices in order to rent a place. Brooklyn, let's see. This is a 1 bedroom is $3,000. A 2 bedroom, $3,325.
I thought the rents are getting cheaper. I thought he campaigned on that, didn't he? Say he's gonna make it more affordable for regular, everyday New Yorkers.
Now, here's the thing: I didn't vote for this because I can't, but I did root for it.
And you're getting it.
And you're getting it. And then, because Mom Donnie is so slick when it comes to talking about the issues, and as you alluded to, this is what socialists can fix. Well, when asked about, because what happens when prices go up in a city? Well, desperation starts to rise. People start doing more violent stuff. And New York City gets to claim, look, we've had this much less amount of violence. But he was asked about, hey, there's a particular area of violence that keeps going up in this city. Can you explain that?
And what I think is important to know is a lot of the increase in rape also comes from an expanded definition of what counts as rape, as well as survivors coming forward for acts that took place years prior.
What counts as rape? Did he say that? Did I hear that right?
Are we supposed to believe all women? Isn't that what we're doing?
He actually said an expansion of what counts as rape.
Well, it depends on, what your definition is. What the hell?
That's called stepping in it.
Yeah, it is.
He ain't as slick as you think. And he certainly, right now, is on the verge. This is what happens when you start to run out of money. Now you start to slip up.
Because your focus is elsewhere. Your focus is, oh my gosh.
The all-time highest rents in New York City is under Mamdani right now.
And he doesn't know what
to do about it.
He didn't know what the definition of rape is either, apparently.
How do you like that? Oh, by the way, a studio, if we're talking about New York City. So, now you're into an area where like, well, I'm going to get a studio place. It's going to have a New York address. Yeah, it's $4,000.
Dude.
Studio, one bedroom.
That smile, I can't get past this quote, dude. I mean, as bad as that is with all the rents, I can't get by this quote, man. That's this dude said it, and he smiles. He's got a really nice smile. He's a good-looking kid, and comes out with that, dude. That forked tongue.
What's up?
Goodness, New York, y'all. You're stepping in it.
I didn't vote for it. I am rooting for it.
They still have 3 years of it.
It's totally fine. It's going to be great. Don't worry about it. It's going to be totally great.
They're 6 months in.
They're 6 months in. They got 3.5 years left.
Good Lord.
It's going to be totally fine. Have at it. Now, the only way.
I just hate the damage it does to America. I do hate that part.
The only way that you're able to keep people in this sort of scenario, and this is what communists know, is at the barrel of a gun. Because the money is leaving.
Yeah.
And you don't have it to continue to subsidize this sort of silliness.
He says, it depends on what your definition of rape is. With a smile. With that Mamdani smile.
Oops.
When we come back, tyranny and how it's presented. That'll be the discussion next on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
Atlanta, let's talk about Howard Brothers. Looking for the right tools, equipment, and expert advice for your next project? Well, naturally, head on over to Howard Brothers. For over 70 years, they've been helping homeowners and pros get geared up for their outdoor projects, and they've got locations all over North Georgia. They have a team that's ready to serve you, and let Howard Brothers be that particular company that can help you with outdoor power, service, hardware, much more. When it comes to grills, they're fully loaded. I've bought every single one of my grills over the last 12 years from Howard Brothers. They have all the spices, all the equipment, everything on the best grill lines out there in America. Howard Brothers, your one-stop shop for lawn care success season after season. Find one near you at howardbrothers.com.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
Hey, I'm a dog. Every day, I dig. Every day, they fill it back in. It's a whole thing. But then my humans called Accent Fence and had a real fence installed. And now, I can't get out. But in the meantime, the family loves it.
Hi, this is Jared with Accent Fence. Secure your yard with wood, vinyl, composite, aluminum, steel, or chain link fence. And right now, we're making it more affordable. No money down financing. Get your free quote today at 770-995-7463 or book online at accentfence.net.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We are a family-owned, operated, independent local company. We have over 15 years of artificial grass design, installation, and sales experience. From premium artificial lawns and backyards, custom putting greens, sports fields, hardscape, drainage. We do both residential and commercial. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
The Braves are turning up the excitement this summer as the Rangers come to Truist Park July 17th through the 19th. Come celebrate Christmas in July on the 17th, complete with a summertime spin on your favorite holiday-themed festivities. And yes, Blooper Claws will be there. The fun continues Saturday with the pregame block party and the Braves Country Talent Search, where fans take the stage and compete in the spotlight in front of a panel of local celebrity judges. Then bring your girls as the series warms up with the Kids ATL Clear Purse giveaway on Sunday. The perfect purse to bring to game days. And then the Braves battle the Padres July 20th through the 23rd. The series begins with a special themed Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood Kids Club Day featuring meet and greets with your favorite characters, a Daniel Tiger's Ears headband giveaway, and more fun. To round it out, the legendary Jermaine Dupri bobblehead giveaway is on the 22nd. So visit Braves.com/purse promos to get your tickets today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey Atlanta, it's Drake Baldwin here. When I won Rookie of the Year, I thought of everyone who helped me along the way. My friends, my family, and hot showers. That's why when something goes wrong, I call Superior Plumbing. Still locally owned, Superior has been serving Atlanta for over 40 years as the go-to plumber for leak repairs, toilet replacement, and water heater installation. They don't call them the honest one for no reason. Superior's team is my MVP. Remember, there's no job too small.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Wednesday, July 15th, and here are your headlines. Supreme Court justices are asking Congress for nearly $15 million in additional security funding. As threats against the court continue to rise, Justice Amy Coney Barrett testified yesterday that she had to explain to her children why she has to wear a bulletproof vest, while Justice Elena Kagan says threats against justices have increased by nearly 40% just this year. Georgia health officials are warning residents about a rise in cases of cyclosporiasis, a parasite that spreads through contaminated food or water. The illness can cause severe diarrhea, cramping, and fatigue, with symptoms sometimes lasting for weeks. Officials are urging people to wash their produce thoroughly and practice good hygiene. And finally, a new bipartisan housing law is taking aim at corporate home ownership in Metro Atlanta. A measure backed by Senator Raphael Warnock limits private equity companies owning 350 single-family homes, with companies exceeding that number facing steep fines. Supporters say the move is designed to improve housing affordability in a region where large investors own more than 72,000 homes and 1 in 4 single-family rentals. Today's weather will be pretty much the same as yesterday, with cloudy skies and occasional rain showers. It'll be a high of 84 and a low of 72. Your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Sometimes we talk about things that are shocking on this show, and I'm going to share something with you right now that is going to shock you within an inch of your life.
Oh, no.
And Los is he's going to be able to relate to this, probably more than others, because of his, because where he's born and raised, and the things that he is, that he cares about. The actor Timothée Chalamet said he was starstruck when he met the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Well,
all right. There we go.
Shocking that he would be starstruck when you meet they're like the most famous cheerleaders in the freaking world. They're all, drop dead gorgeous, all stunning. And Timothée Chalamet, who's, I would assume, met everybody in the world. He's seen the prettiest of people in Hollywood. And isn't he dating one of the Kardashian ladies? One of them?
Yes.
What now?
I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
One, he's running around with Kendra.
Is it okay? There you go. Yeah. So I couldn't tell him apart harder.
Listen, he's winning. It's good.
Yes, he is.
Good for him.
But let me tell you, or I should say, the least shocking thing in the world is him saying I was starstruck when I met the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Have you ever had the good fortune, Los, of meeting the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader?
Yeah.
He says that with such confidence.
Yes. I have. Covered all the training camps.
It's hard not to, right?
A handful of people, and you got to understand this about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. It's not like a full-time organization like any cheer group is. Like, they all have regular jobs, and then they show up in the evening and they do their work with the cheerleaders. So
shake their pom-poms.
Yeah. So you actually end up, like, where she works, where they hang out. It's not like they run together in a pack, okay? It would be like if somebody met you out, Tug, and they're like, "Where's Los?" You're like, "I don't know. He's an adult.
He's at home with his wife and kids, I think."
Right? You're like, "Where are the other cheerleaders?" I'm like, "I don't know. They're all professional women doing their own thing."
That's such a great point. A lot of people think that the country stars in Nashville spend every waking minute together, and that's just not the case. Kane Brown did an interview last week, and he was talking about how he never sees anybody in Nashville. He said, to be honest, I have very few friends in the music business. He's like, I text back and forth a good bit with Morgan Wallen, text back and forth with Jason Aldean. We play golf together. But those are about the only people in Nashville that I spend time with or see. when I do see people at an award show or whatever the an event, an industry event, it's always cool to see people, but we're not connected at the hip. And for whatever reason, you're so right about that. People just assume because they're in the same industry and, they see them together at award shows that they must spend all their waking time together. And it couldn't be further from the truth.
It's just not the case.
Yeah, it's not at all. So, anyway.
I just sent y'all a picture of whenever I met the Bulls cheerleaders. I also look starstruck.
There you go.
Let's see here. Let's see here. That's you, dude?
That's me. So awkward.
Look at this crazy picture.
There it goes.
We're going to spin it around here so YouTube can see it as well. Dude, why were they wearing green? Was it like St. Patty's Day or something?
I think so.
Yeah, it had to be.
You want some good news on the cheerleader front, the dancer front?
Yes, of course I do.
So it's been gone for a while, but they're bringing it back because now they're back to making money. The San Antonio Spurs are finally bringing back the Silver Dancers.
Well, there you go. Look at there.
I know. They weren't making money for a long... They weren't spending any money on halftime shows. Well, now that you have a team that can get to the NBA Finals...
Yeah.
Got to take up the entertainment value a little bit. No more high school dance teams.
That's right. Not there's anything wrong with high school dance teams.
It is if you're spending good money to go to an NBA game and they're like, welcome, Jackson Middle School.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about having Game Pass or League Pass.
You would see all of it?
You could see every single halftime show for whatever game you were watching.
Yeah. Those are all
interesting
live.
ones.
They just leave the commercial. They just leave it on.
It's almost like, have you watched any games in the 4K? Mm-hmm. Like for me, and I don't know if it works that way for everybody, but at least with, I think we have DirecTV Stream, and it'll ask you whatever game you're watching, do you want to flip it over and watch it in 4K? If you do that, it's exactly what you're describing.
They just do like a big stadium view.
Yeah, all the time. And I flipped it over just to kind of watch between, and it kind of gives you the vibe of being at the game actually, because you know what goes on during commercial breaks. They got the clock up there and it's counting it down. To be honest, I've been to a handful of Hawks games over the years. I don't know that I've ever been blown away by a halftime show, ever. Whether it's Jackson Middle School.
The lady who does the bowl stuff where she flicks it up from her foot to the top of her head is pretty cool. Is it Red Panda?
When she does what now?
Oh, you haven't seen this?
Yeah.
What is it?
Red Panda? Oh, she's fascinating.
But tell me what she does. Why is she fascinating?
So she puts bowls like on her foot. And she's on a unicycle.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Over the years, I've seen people do something like that.
Look up a video. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
There is no Bud Light Daredevils like there used to be.
Yeah.
Those guys, when the Daredevils came through,
everybody wanted to get there and see it.
That was a special time.
I never got to see them.
Those guys fly through the air, dunk, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I think people started worrying about getting hurt.
Yeah, and liability and things like that.
Yeah.
I understand.
The Bulls do it pretty good. Last time I was there when we lived in Chicago, they had the dancing grandmas.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
Who would want to miss
so that was actually I'll give him credit. That was a Mark Cuban idea, Mark Cuban production. Mark Cuban decided, because they had the regular dance team. Then they had I think it was like the Mavs Fanatics. These were the largest men they could find.
Were they wearing tight clothes?
They were wearing like dancer clothes.
Yeah.
And it was more comedy.
Well, yeah.
But they were very large men. And it was kind of funny.
You should lose some weight.
That's what they would say to him. They were like the Natalie Maines.
I didn't just say that. That was a recording of something else I was talking. That's out of context.
They were the Natalie Maines of NBA dancers.
Oh, Lord.
By the way, when I brought that up with my wife last night during dinner, she was like, doesn't she like fluctuate up and down? I go, it's been up for a bit.
Yeah, there's not been a lot of down lately. And they're out on tour.
Take a shot. I've been a lot of down lately.
What's the truth? Has she slipped back down?
No, I don't think so.
I've been painted into a corner again.
But the Mavericks and Mark Cuban, that's what they did. I'll see if I can find a picture for you.
I am super flexible. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am super flexible. Natalie's not. They are going out on tour with Tim McGraw. They're the opening act for Tim McGraw. What do you mean all of them?
All of her?
Oh, Bryce. But the Chicks used to be formerly the Dixie Chicks, but Tim's a lefty, so it's no surprise that the Chicks are going out. And I don't dislike the Chicks. I wish they could shut their mouths. They can't. They put their foot in their mouth.
Didn't it used to be the Dixie Chicks?
Yeah, they dropped that back.
Why did they drop it?
During the 2020, the Summer of Love. They dropped all that.
When suddenly, if you mentioned the antebellum era or Dixie, there was something wrong with you.
Lady Antebellum did the same thing. Lady A, yeah. Which most people call them that anyway, but it was silly.
By the way, so this started in 2002. This was when Mark Cuban had taken over the Mavericks. They had been one of the worst teams, but that was their Mavs Maniac Dancers. And is it okay? They've gotten less large, but look, they're going to get out of it. See, is that not funny to you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
There's a lot of man there. There's a lot of girth in that group.
A lot of man there. Yeah, I would have probably went and got something to eat or drink. There's never been I don't recall any halftime show that made me go, wow, I can't wait to see this. This is going to be him. Maybe the Daredevils thing that you brought up earlier would have done that. I just have never had that experience.
Can't wait till he gets a few beers in him and then he's like screaming for the fat guys to come out and dance.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a beer drinker. I'd have me a liquor drink.
A couple liquor drinks in him.
And let me tell you,
he's like, bring on the dancers.
Where are they? Where are they? Put the game on hold. Bring the dancers out.
Nothing better than a drink at a sporting event.
No, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Especially baseball.
Baseball, yeah, or any for that matter. I like it in any. I don't really have a favorite.
I don't discriminate.
Yeah, me either.
Am I in a chair watching something?
That's right. Then I would like to have a nice beverage. That's all. Yeah. Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3. It comes in the name of compassion. It always does. We're going to take care of you. We're going to right the wrongs. Do you feel like you've heard this before? Because I know I have. And they always say this. I want you to hear from this woman who escaped North Korea. She has a warning for those, like in New York, that have been mesmerized by socialism and communism. She says this tyranny always comes in the name of compassion.
The young people really don't know how tyranny comes to them in America. They somehow tyranny comes with like a dark suit and guns and gonna come and tell them, I'm gonna enslave you. Mm-hmm. Usually, tyranny comes in the name of compassion and equality. They come and make these sweet, sweet promises of paradise. Like that's how North Korean regime began. The Kim Il-sung came to my grandmothers and said, look at the capitalists, they are so rich, and look at the peasants. Their children can't even get educated. And they cannot even be treated in the hospital. How about I create a society where everybody gets a free education, free healthcare, free housing, free food. And then we get rid of inequality because this is evil. And why would you not want that? It sounds so fantastic, right? Everybody lives life with dignity. Nobody suffers from poor health. And people wanted that. So my grandmothers gave up their private property. They gave up freedom of speech. They gave up freedom of movement. They gave up all their rights to live in this paradise. But we know that when government took all their rights away from people, they did not create a paradise. They created the biggest concentration camp in human history.
This woman's family escaped from North Korea. Do you hear the buzzwords, though? Equality, utopia, it's paradise. Free, free, free. Everything's free, Los. They're going to take care of everything for you.
She said it at the very end. I don't know if you picked it up. She said they created the biggest concentration camp in history.
This woman whose family lived it.
And what does North Korea do? They have an area in front of the demilitarized zone where they shoot you if you try and leave. And if you happen to get into the DMZ, they still try and shoot you as you try and escape.
Isn't it funny that always through history, we talked about the Germanys, East and West Germany being split. One had a wall, not to keep people from coming in. It was to keep people from going out, keep people from leaving. Same way. You see the themes. The themes never change. The promises never change. The smiling faces never change. It's always the same. And if you think it can't happen here, it can. Will it be more difficult? Sure. You have people that are not willing to sacrifice their freedom and will meet you with their own force if need be. They're not. It's not going to be It's not going to be as easy here as it is in other places. But they have momentum, and it can happen.
Well, let's look at what has happened in 70 years. So we're talking about almost 3 generations. If you treat a generation as 25 years, right? That's child rearing age. Here's the cycle of what life has been like. If you compare South Koreans to North Koreans, and I know that like the satellite view is always the view of like, look at North Korea's all dark, South Korea's all lit up. But if you just did it on height, because height is an indication of nutrition, better diet, more stuff available, the healthier your society, the bigger, sometimes weight-wise, but in this case, we'll just say height comparison. In North Korea versus South Korea, North Korean men on average are 3 inches shorter. In North Korea, women on average are 2 inches shorter than their South Korean counterparts. And yet, in the span of 3 generations, there's no difference in them genetically. They're all Koreans. There's no influx of, hey, we brought in a whole bunch of new people to come and breed with y'all, and why are these guys so much bigger than the others? It's nutrition, and the North Koreans lack it because there's not enough food.
How do people on the left fall for this crap? You know what I mean? I just don't know how you fall for it. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the room ever. I'm not the dumbest guy in the room ever. I'm of average intelligence. I try to observe things and make the best decisions that I can. But anytime somebody says, hey, man, it's going to be free, I'm like, nothing's free. You know what I mean? There's always that. Call me cynical if you like. I don't mind. I'm always like, you got to prove me this. This has got to be proved to me. I'm not buying it immediately.
The left will make you believe that the Harlem Globetrotters came in and just went ahead and spread seed all over South Korea. No. The nutrition, the health of a capitalist society is significantly better than a communist society. Always has been, always will be. And as that woman told you, they were running the largest concentration camp. There is a lack of nutrition to the point where in 3 generations, men are significantly smaller in North Korea, as are women versus their South Korean counterparts.
She gets it. Her and her family lived it. I just don't know how the parents of some people that send their kids off to school to be indoctrinated, especially in Ivy League schools, how they're not talking to their kids about some of this stuff. How do they fall into this? And it doesn't take a big percentage of them, because I don't think it is a giant percentage. They do have momentum for sure. I don't think it's a giant percentage of people that believe in this crap. I think Bryce had sent us an Echelon Insight poll, favorability poll. Capitalism is up 20%. The Free Palestine movement down 14, DSA down 21, socialism down 29, communism down 73%. So maybe people are getting the message. I don't know. I keep going back to this. I don't know how to quantify their momentum, Los. I don't know how many people are buying this crap. Now, that the Echelon poll would tell me that it's not growing as rapidly as it might be presented. But I don't know. I don't know. And I guess we'll just wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see what the midterms look like. That's how I guess we'll find out. I want you to hear this man that believes himself to be a woman. Left the United States, and guess what he's got to do?
He was looking for greener pastures.
And it ain't always. Grass ain't always greener on the other side. He found that out quick. Next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, July 15th. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game from Philadelphia ended with the American League beating the National League 4-0 last night as the American League pitching struck out 15 in the game. The league is now off until Thursday. As for the Braves, they will resume second half action on Friday. From the World Cup, a massive matchup right here in Atlanta today as England and Argentina will battle for the right to play in Sunday's final. Spain is already there and awaiting Sunday's matchup. The game in Atlanta kicks off today at 3 o'clock. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina. Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Stratton from Tom and Jerry's Roofing, a 10-year veteran of the U.S. Army. When my best friend Jerry and I opened Tom and Jerry's Roofing, we wanted our company to be an outlet for good. So with every roof we do, a portion goes to various veteran services and charities. Tom and Jerry's Roofing is passionate about giving you the best service and quality work possible, and that work turning into service for our heroes. So if you need a new roof or a repair, call us. We're Tom and Jerry's Roofing, where every roof helps veterans. TomandJerry'sRoofing.com.
There's a lot riding on every digging project. You want it done and over with. And the utility companies want their underground lines untouched and intact. Georgia 811 helps connect the dots. If you're digging, submit your ticket to us at least 3 business days before the project starts. We'll notify our utility members, and they'll send locators to mark their lines at your site. Georgia 811, connecting the dots for safe digging.
Sponsored by Georgia 811.
Purple Wave Auction Box.
Hey there, folks. If you're buying or selling equipment, ride the wave.
Ride the wave. Purple Wave Auction makes it easy to sell.
Easy to buy. Construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve. All online.
All online.
Cruise on over to purplewave.com and get in the groove today.
Purplewave.com.
Fox Country.
I'm Monica DeLuca.
Drinking Jack all by myself.
Listeners are choosing Texas. Ella Langley's song holds for a 13th week at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The hit, which first led the Hot 100 in February, is one of just 5, and the only one by an act known for primarily recording country music to have dominated for 13 weeks or more among female acts. The band Perry has released You Lie Forever version, a new take on the group's platinum-certified breakout single, featuring rising singer-songwriter Caitlin Butts. You Lie first appeared as the opening track on the Grammy-winning group's self-titled 2010 debut album, and quickly became one of the band's defining songs, getting a remake 16 years later. That's Fox Country on Fox News.
Tomorrow at 9 p.m., hear President Donald Trump live from the White House as he addresses some of the biggest issues facing the nation today in a major primetime speech. Extra 106.3 is the only station in town airing President Trump's address live and in its entirety. Don't miss a single word. Tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Show has flown by, and it's all because of you. Just being engaged, being dialed in, and we're grateful for that. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
Now we got a minute here. Can we bring up that Joe Biden has a book coming out?
Yeah. Bryce, did you pull that? We have a promo for it. Bryce found the promo for Joe Biden's book. Here, listen to this real quick.
Since I left the presidency, I've had a lot of people ask me, Joe, what have you been doing?
Sleeping.
Running. Out of breath.
I've been spending a lot of time with my family. I'm dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and I've been getting treatment, and it's been going really well. I want to thank all those who offered their prayers and support and well wishes. It's meant the world to me and to Jill. I've written a book about my time as president. It's called Promise Me America. It's coming out in November, and it's available for pre-order now. It's about the challenge we face as a nation, about the decisions I made, and why I made them.
He sounds great.
Leading the country through COVID.
Hey, we can bail out. It's just,
oh, man.
Dude, he just sounds super out of breath. And you remember a long time ago, they would have to do every speech, especially the recorded ones, they would do it in segments.
They would have a multitude of cuts.
That's exactly what that was. That's why it was so small.
If you, now I don't know if it's still
tough. I hate it for him, but
I don't know if you would have, it would still translate. But when Joe Biden challenged Donald Trump to a series of speeches, and they put the video out there, I think we had counted somewhere between 5 and 7 jump cuts during it. It was not one continuous video. Now, sometimes you'll do that just in the interest of adding a little bit of like fun and drama. Like there's some people that when they put together YouTube videos, they will make a multitude of cuts because maybe they change their seating position, maybe they change where the mic is. They're using it in order to kind of drive home key points. That wasn't what Joe was doing and that group was doing. That they were doing it because I don't think he could cognitively get through a 30-second video challenging Donald Trump to a speech or to a debate.
It's I don't take any joy, and I'm sure you don't either, take any joy in hearing the decline. But at some point, when is somebody in that family going to step in and be like, quit abusing this man? Stop. Can you just let him rest? Because he sounded out of breath. Those were a second and a half. Why I ran for president. I mean, that was one of the things he said. This book's about why I ran for president. And he sounded out of breath the entire time.
Do we even get the fake 1 week for New York Times bestseller? Like,
yes,
is there enough people?
That. Yes. Dude.
If Jill got it, he's getting it.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Because the publishing house is typically who buys that. They buy a bulk order, and then the book goes away. And that's what happened to Jill. Jill had 1 week, and then suddenly, where are the individual orders?
Yep.
Gone.
Yep.
She never even showed up in the top 100 for Amazon. And Amazon is the spot you go to.
That's right. It's all AstroTurf, man. Every bit of it. It's like they live for it. They can't wait to make up this story and make it look a particular way. It's like Truman Show.
I just find it to be embarrassing that a man who got in trouble, Joe Biden got in trouble because he had documents in his garage that he was not allowed to have for a book that was being ghostwritten. And by the time the Justice Department got involved, the excuse was, we are not prosecuting him because he's an old, feeble man. And they wouldn't release the video, nor would they release the audio because he was making car and choo-choo sounds. And it was clear this guy is so far off the reservation that it's this bad. It's not worth prosecuting a guy like this. Not like he did this in some sinister way, or at least what was left of him was no longer some sort of sinister old man.
And you could hear it in that promo we just played. It's crazy.
The comments on that video of the promo, gold.
Well, I'm going to get into that.
Let's see. Oh, that's ugly. I'm good. I don't
One of them is a picture. It says the title of the book should be "I Was President?" ?
Oh, see, this is awful. We're good.
I'm here for awful.
We're here. We're headed down the wrong path with
What you do is nice, straightforward, and simple.
What?
Oh, there it is. Look. I was president?
Yeah. I mean, come on. This is terrible, y'all. This is awful.
I've written a book, and it's a picture of the auto pen.
Oh, no.
I forgot. The memoirs of a man who forgot a lot of things, including the title of this book.
We're just piling on at this point. This is terrible. Yeah, this is no good. All right.
It's time to get up, damn it.
Okay, now this one's funny.
Okay.
It says, promise me, comma, and then what does it say from there?
As soon as...
By Joe Biden.
I can't believe you drugged me into that. You set me up for failure right there.
We're the United States of America.
What?
That was Amerigata.
Amerigata, which sounds like a resort in the Bahamas. I'm going to Amerigata. It's going to be great. Me and my wife are vacationing down there for our honeymoon. or whatever, our anniversary. Now you're dragging me to this, and I don't want to be involved in this discussion. This is terrible.
We drew Tug off sides.
Yeah, you did.
By the way, in that audio that we played,
which one?
They also ran subtitles while he was talking.
Oh my God, Los. But
I was told by the media,
stop being ugly.
In June of 2024, that everything was fine.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
you don't believe he's the most strongest. F you if you don't believe it.
He's the
I'm serious.
Thank you.
You're
Morning Joe Scarborough.
Right. Yeah. Do you have that handy? The Joe Scarborough defending? Tell me, don't worry about it then.
Yeah, he's the sharpest, he's the strongest, the best Biden he's ever been. If you don't believe that, F you. Okay, Joe.
God, what a fool. What a complete fool.
Get a life, man.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's exactly right. Good Lord. All right, quickly, let me play this for you. There is a man, a transsexual man. A man believes himself to be a woman. Applied for asylum in the Netherlands, due to the oppression in Trump's America. They put him in a mental asylum. Famous for Islamic extremists and knife violence. This man now regrets his decision.
Between here and there is a bunch of Algerians and Moroccans or whoever who think that queer people should be beaten. I think that this system where you have people just living out here that are unhappy is not good.
Yeah. And do you think it's safe here?
No, I don't think it's here.
Oh, it's scary. It's legitimately scary. I decided that my mental health is degrading so substantially being here that I just need to get out. And the situation that I have in the U.S. as a trans person, not good, right? But here I will be hurt or killed.
All right, let me make sure I've got this laid out correctly. My situation in America as a trans person, it's a country that might be mean to me, that may not accept me. So you went to Belgium, in the Netherlands, and there you might get killed for it.
They put him in a camp.
They put him in a camp for crazy people.
An asylum center. Ter Apel, and I don't know that I'm pronouncing that right. Ter, and the next word, Apel, Apel.
Here we let you work at Buc-ee's. There, they put you in a camp for crazy people.
Or, dude, work anywhere.
Yeah.
There's really nice hotels in downtown Atlanta that have trans people working there. I ran into one going to the SEC championship. It was clear what was happening. I was polite, had nothing to say, just got the information that I needed and left. So I'm not sure about the oppression that he speaks of. I'm really not. Now, does everybody accept him? No, because it's a mental disorder. It's always been a mental disorder for the entirety of time.
You don't understand. Dave Chappelle makes jokes about me.
Yeah, that's oppression.
You go elsewhere.
That's oppression. And he was like, I got to leave because they're going to kill me. Dude, it's nuts. Oh, it is nuts.
I think it goes back to, like, you've traveled the world. You've seen some pretty crazy stuff.
Sure.
There are those moments where I just want to ask the question, have you been anywhere else? Like, certain people, when they're on their high horse about what's wrong, and I'm like, have you been anywhere else? Like, do you know how this actually works? I remember one time when we were traveling and my wife said something, and I'm trying to remember how exactly it went, but I kind of jumped on her a little bit. And she was like, well, why'd you say that? I go, you told those people that we had won some cash last night. And she's like, well, yeah. And I go, you don't ever, when you're traveling internationally, they might be the nicest bartender in the world. I'm like, you don't say one thing about this stuff. But it was a naivete of not understanding that the world is not operating the way it works back home in Cumming, Georgia.
That's right.
Hey, went to the casino, we won $200. Somebody will kill you internationally for $200 if they know where you're staying or follow you back to your room. Or call somebody that will.
Absolutely right. Hey, here's the mark.
Yeah. I was like, go get up.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't go.
But you got to be wise to this sort of stuff.
Yeah, and it seems like it should be common sense, but
no, not really.
Yeah, it can get
only one street smart person in this house.
But just when reality kicks in, reality has to kick in. Maybe not for that person because of living in some sort of crazy land, believing yourself to be something that you're not.
Like president.
Maybe like president, yes.
Hut!
Jack.
What, Jack?
Oh, Lord. Oh, what did you do? Sneeze or throw up?
It was a cough.
Oh, of course it was. All right. That'll do it for us.
I was president.
Yes. It's terrible that he's in that shape, and I feel bad for him.
There was
and
Coke in the White House?
I can't believe that they still use him the way that they do to, present a narrative, make money. It's just awful that they're doing this continually.
He's a meat puppet.
That's right.
For 4 years.
That'll do it for us. From Bryson Los, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Need more than just headlines on your ride to work? It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.